सभी दीवारों से है अलग ये दीवार, उस पे जो भी है उन्होंने किया कोई चमत्कार। उस दीवार पे है इतनी विविधता, यूं ही नहीं कोई वहाँ पहुँचता। It's an honor to have one of our esteemed faces from the Wall of Fame of Hansraj College, Shri ICP Keshri sir. Former IAS officer and a notable alumnus from Hansraj College. And also Prashant sir, who is an income tax commissioner officer. I, Ankit,
and I, Manya,
extend a very warm and heartily welcome to our esteemed guest, Shri ICP Keshri sir, and to everyone present over here on behalf of Nishtha, the Civil Service Society of Hansraj College. It is indeed a pleasure to be here in this gathering of intellectuals and dignitaries.
With immense delectation and ecstasy, we bring forth to you our first guest, Shri ICP Keshri sir, under the flagship event Ekansh 22, which is an initiative by Nishtha, the Civil Services Society of Hansraj College, where we invite eminent bureaucrats who have excelled in the realm of bureaucracy. This much awaited session is here to shed some light on following an accurate trail from clearing the complex rounds of UPSC civil service examinations to the life of an IAS officer.
I invoke you, Agni. You are from the time before creation, before the unmanifest became manifest. You are the ultimate truth underlying our ideals, the giver of all good things of life. Time resides in you, begins with you, and ends with you. You are the giver of all creation and its treasures. With this, I would like to invite Sir to ignite the flame of wisdom.
We are more than blessed to have a dignitary like you, sir. I'm sure the experience we are having today is one of a kind. We now request ICP Keshri sir and our President Akshat to come on stage and felicitate Prashant sir and ICP sir.
Now I request President Akshat Bhadoria to felicitate Prashant sir.
Today's speaker needs no introduction. Our first session features an epitome of sagacity and resilience, Shri ICP Keshri sir. He completed his Bachelor's of Arts from Hansraj College. In 1988, he served as a part of IAS cadre in Madhya Pradesh and was also deployed in Indian Police Services in Gujarat. He also served as chairman at the Madhya Pradesh Management Company Limited and additional chief secretary, commercial taxes, Government of Madhya Pradesh. It was his intelligence and problem-solving skills that Madhya Pradesh became the first state with electricity connection in all the households. His resilient and industrious nature succeeded in cushioning the grave impacts of COVID-19 in the state of Madhya Pradesh while bringing together 15 lakh standard migrants workers across the country. Now, I would request ICP Keshri sir to come on stage and address the awaited audience.
It's always a pleasure to come to a place where you have spent 5 years. I still recall these windows there were windows earlier, it was not a AC hall. So on a major functions like orchestra or cultural functions, if you don't get place here, we used to climb on the windows and sit there. Now all closed, secured, air conditioned. See, today I am here because of Nishtha Society. Akshat and his team has invited me to be here. It's always pleasure to speak to youngsters. Whenever I come to college, I reduce my age by 20 years. I tried to reduce more, but I couldn't succeed. So today, because Nishtha is a civil services aspirant society, so I would like to today's talk to divide into 3 parts. First, everyone must be aware of the new scheme of examination of civil services. So that we'll leave. If anyone wants to know anything on that, we'll take a question and try to clarify those. Then, how do you prepare for your exams? That will be more important. How do you succeed in exams? And then, once you are selected, once you join the service, how is the life of an IAS officer in the field? I joined Hansraj College as a fresher in 1980. I still recall July 1980, I got admitted in Hansraj College, and 4th July, I got admitted to hostel. Then 15th July, we started our classes. I came from a small town, which is Sasaram in Bihar. It's a Rohtas district, Sirsaj place. So when I came to join Delhi University, I came to Delhi for the first time. I had never seen Delhi before that. So those who are aspiring or preparing for civil services, don't think that it's only people with a background or with the people from large cities can make it to civil services. I came from a very small place. We were studying in a school which has only 250 students. My class has 20 students. So in life, step by step, notch to notch, you go higher. So I did my graduation in history honors, and now MA people are not staying in the hostel. In our days, MA affiliation was allowed in the college and we were staying in the hostel. So from 1980 to 85, I stayed in the campus. Then I took admission in MPhil, clear JRF because JRF was mandatory for fellowship and lecturership. So I joined Jubilee Hall. Then I took the civil service exam first time in 1986. The result came out in 87. I couldn't make it to IAS, but I made it to IPS. I wrote the exam again in November 1987, and December I joined Indian Police Service at Hyderabad. I was allotted Gujarat cadre. Then when I was in IPS, the result came in June 1988. I got IAS, but I continued in IPS for another 1.5 months, left IAS on 20th August and joined IAS on 25th August at Mussoorie. I was allotted Madhya Pradesh cadre, and as luck would have it, 2 of us from Jubilee Hall, there was an officer called Pranav Nanda, UT cadre IPS. We lost him 2 years before when he was DGP Goa. So we were roommate in Mussoorie. So we were we were in the same hostel, ended up getting in the same room at Mussoorie. See, there are few things which all of you, how many people present here want to take civil services as a career? Lot many. Good. I must tell you, we are quite a few people from Hansraj in civil services. Lot many. See, what all matters in succeeding the exam? Everyone must be telling it's a very tough examination. Certainly, it's a tough examination. But remember, every year, 1,000 people, 1,000, 1,200, 800, depending on the vacancy, get selected to civil services, and 100, 125 people get into IAS. So whenever it comes to your mind that it's a very tough exam, remember, you can be those 100, those 125 who can make it. Nothing is impossible. Around 10 lakh people take the preliminary examination, prelims. Then 10,000 get to write to main examination. 2,000, around 2,200 or 1,800 are called for interview, or ultimately 800 to 900,000 people make it to civil services. See, the scheme of examination has slightly changed from our days. We used to have 2 subject papers. Now there is only 1 subject paper. We had 2 GS paper. Now there are 4 GS paper, and we never had essay in civil services. There used to be an essay paper in our BA days. 9th paper of honors used to be essay. So year by year, things are becoming tougher. Tougher not because of scheme, but the children who are taking the exam, they are brighter than us. So you are competing with your brighter peer group. So be very, very careful in selecting your subject. Now there is only 1 subject to be selected, 2 papers. In our day, it was two subjects. So I had, of course, history as my main honors and MA. I took psychology as a second option, second paper. I had never studied psychology. The only reason I thought, you should know your strength and weaknesses. The first thing in any, whatever service you join, whatever profession you join, you must know your strength and weaknesses. Build up on your strength, work on your weaknesses so that the weakness doesn't trouble you. My weakness was, if I have to take exam 1 paper today and 1 paper tomorrow, my performance might go down by 2 to 3%. A single marks can get you out of the list of civil services. So I selected psychology because between history and psychology exam, there used to be 4 days gap. So 4 days, 3-4 days were enough for me to recoup those so that I can revise. So be very, very careful in selecting the subject. Those who are doing honors in a subject, that goes naturally that they will take that paper, build up on that. I am in the service because of history. Out of 600, I had 402 when I took this exam earlier, first time when I got IPS, and I had 398 out of 600 when I got into IAS. So your main subject, work very, very hard on that. Try not to lose even a single mark in that. General studies used to be very important at that point of time also, but it has become more important because you have 4 papers of 200 marks each. So 800 marks, almost 50% is general studies. For general studies, broaden your latitude of knowledge. NCERT books of 10th and 12th of each subject, whether it's if you are doing history, then apart from history, political science, constitution, geography, science, bio. So all you should master things of 10th and 12th. That's the level which you get in your general studies paper. Then develop a habit of knowing more. I mean, we were in Jubilee Hall. Jubilee Hall, out of 200 students, 100 students used to take civil services. So there was a peer pressure, even on dining table, in the canteen, everyone used to talk of civil services only. And people used to help each other in building up, growing up. So among your peer groups, make a circle of 3-4 people. Everyone is not expected to know everything under the sun, but 4 people knowing 30% of things makes 120. Even if there is a communication loss, you end up getting it in 100 or 99%. Like Mr. Podar, he was senior to me, again history, Hansraj. He was gold medalist of Delhi University. So me and Podar used to prepare together. We took the exams together. Half of history notes were made by him, half by me. Psychology similarly, then GS also. We used to discuss. We were staying in the same hostel. We used to shift to one room in the last 2 months of the exam because notes used to be one copy, so that it can be shared and planned that if you are studying history, these chapters today, I will study something else. Then develop a habit of reading any one newspaper. Pick up any newspaper, whether it's Times of India, Hindustan, Times, Statesman, Telegraph, whatever you like. Pick up the habit of spending at least 30 to 40 minutes, an hour on a newspaper. That will deepen your understanding of any subject. And must spend 15-20 minutes on editorial page. Because one of the issues are in few columns. Then one magazine, like in our days, India Today or Frontline, and then one of the competitive magazines. A spark of life comes from a very small incidence. Why I decided to be in civil services? I am the first graduate of my family. No one in my family even today is in government service. I belong to a business family. My father wanted me to do law and become a commercial tax lawyer like Mr. Prasad Doshi. And I refused to be that. But the moment I finished my MA, I got into civil services so that he doesn't get a chance to remind me that I didn't do what he wanted me to do. Then one magazine, in fact, I was in class 8th when the local collector of Rohtas district was the chief guest of the school annual function. So that time it came to mind that can we be on the other side of the table? That was the first beginning. Then I think in 1976, probably 75, 76, Mr. Javed Usmani became the topper of IAS. He's a UP cadre officer, he retired now. So his photo came on the first page of competition success review. That was Spark 2. And then I decided to come to Delhi University for my graduation. After doing my schooling from Sasaram and Patna, I joined here. So keep your eyes and ear open for those sparks. Those sparks comes to everyone's life. Not only civil services, it may be something else. It's like love at first sight, You decide your partner. So look for those sparks and work on that spark or that inspiration. Don't let it go. Then civil success in civil services, any exam for that matter, depends on how do you perform in those 3 hours. You might be knowing too much, but if you have not written well in your paper, how can examiner give you marks? Tell me. If you are examiner, you will evaluate the candidate or the student based on what he has performed in the exam, nothing else. So here comes, you must do writing practice. Keep a watch. Take 3 hours. Take 5 questions or 6 questions, whatever you get in a real-time exam. At least you must practice writing at least once a week, or if you can do twice a week, wonderful. And see where you lack, how much time you are spending on each question, how much time overrun. Apart from speed, your clarity of writing. If your examiner doesn't read clearly and legibly what you have written, so he will give marks what he understands, not what you understood and wrote. So while doing your writing practice, go and read your own or ask your friend to read what you have written and try to improve on that also. I was giving example of Poddar. Poddar was a gold medalist. I was 5th in the university. I was not gold medalist. But we took the exam twice, and both the time I ended up getting 75 marks more in history than Poddar. And I could see the reason only those 3 hours performance and writing clearly. Maybe Poddar wrote the same thing, but his examiner couldn't understand that. And I ended up getting IAS, he ended up getting postal service. So what you write, how you write is very, very important. Then we spend lots of time in our favorite questions. Like out of 5 questions, we'll devote lots of time on 3 questions or 4 questions, very less time to last question. So you are evaluated, suppose it's a 200 marks paper, 40 marks is allotted to each question. So what is better? Getting 30, 30, 30 in 3 and getting 10, 10 in last 2, or getting 25 in all 5? What is better? I think getting 25 in all 5 or 26 in all 5 is much better, because ended up the total becomes 10, 15 more. So what I used to do, even for my college examination and more so in civil service examination, the moment you get your paper, spend 2-3 minutes, read the paper clearly, understand which question you can answer better, and just make a page as a rough page with pencil or something. You jot down all points you recall of attempting those questions, so that even if you have less time, you can touch on those points in 3-4 lines, and examiner knows that the student or the candidate knows everything, and you are evaluated on that. So always do that. Plan your writing exam in those 5 minutes. Be cool-headed. Never get tense in examinations. टेंशन हॉस्टल से या घर से निकलते वक्त छोड़ के आओ. Go to examination hall, absolutely relax, in a cheerful mood. I always enter the examination hall गाना गाते हुए. टेंशन दूसरों को होती थी कि इसको तो कोई टेंशन ही नहीं है. See, because even if you are tense, what you are going to gain? Nothing. Maybe out of tension. See, competitive, it's not a first division or second division, that if you get 59, you still end up getting second division. Here it's elimination. All competitive examinations are not selection, it's elimination. 10 lakh people take the exam, 9 lakh 99,000 get eliminated. So it's elimination process. Even 1 marks matter. So why do you lose on that 1 marks? I will always try to get 1 marks more. So never be tense, be cheerful. And when I was talking about strength and weakness, see, I had the strength, and most of us will agree that whatever you read in the morning, early morning hours, stays more. These days, children have become so hardworking that they sleep and wake up the same calendar day. In our times, we used to sleep one day, get up other day. We used to sleep before 12. I have 2 children, and both of them I have seen, they never go to sleep before 12. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. My daughter more so. So I call this generation very hard working generation. So in our days, while writing, I used to do late in the night till 2:33. When you have to read something to remember, जिसको कहते हैं रट्टा मारना, रट्टा मारने का टाइम सुबह सबसे बढ़िया होता है. 4 to 6, 4 to 7 is the best time for ratta maro. Mug up in half of the time. I am betting you. Just go and try. Whatever you do in the day, रट्टा मारने का काम वो आधे समय में मॉर्निंग में हो जाएगा. So you are saving time. We used to do lots of बदमाशी in college. लोग पूछते थे तुम लोग को पढ़ने का टाइम कब मिलता है. So 9 to 3 in the night was the best time to read and write. Just 3 months before examination, 4 to 7, 5 to 7 is the best time to mug up things. Once you have made good notes, so spend lots of time in library. Hansraj Library is good library. Then we used to go to ICHR Library in Mandi House, Central Secretariat Library. Delhi has tremendous facility, British Council Library, American Library. And the best thing about these libraries, if you are studying today with some books, reading some books, if you keep a chit there that please don't remove these books, I will come tomorrow, those books will be kept there, so you will save time in going and locating those books again. So it's not only hard work, it's a planned and focused hard work, which will take you through in civil services. Then comes interview. Please remember one thing, interview is not the test of your knowledge. Your knowledge has already been tested in your mains exam. Interview is more a test of your personality, your emotional balance, your presence of mind. In half an hour interview, they will provoke you sometime so that you become uncomfortable. And then how do you react to those, how is your body language? That also gets you marks. And the interview board has weird ideas, but never get threatened. Be calm, be composed, do well, smilingly, confidently, and come out of flying colors. When I was in IPS, Punjab crisis, Punjab militancy terrorism was at its peak. So we were in police, we thought they will ask us a lot of Punjab, terrorism, militancy, and we prepared a lot on that. And second time when I got IAS, my interview, 30 minutes, out of 30 minutes, 29 minutes centered around culture, art, and everything. So then be absolutely honest in your interview, because that's your personality test. That's why it's called personality test, not it's an interview. You are not supposed to know everything under the earth. Whatever you don't know, you can say, sir, I don't know. Don't guess unless you are asked to guess. In our time, interview used to be 250 marks. Now it's 275. I got 145 on both the occasions. So I say either my personality refused to improve or it continues to be stable. So that's how you write and succeed in examination. I think spending 8 hours for a year is good enough to take you through civil services. But those 8 hours should be focused and planned hard work. This idiot box was not there when we were students. I still recall I used the internet or computer for the first time, not internet, computer for the first time when I joined Mussoorie Academy. I had not touched a computer, I had never seen a computer before that. That was 1988. And we used internet for the first time somewhere 94, 95, 96, not before that. Then the telephone was not smart. It was just you can hear an SMS. This idiot box has made lots of difference in our life. So when you join, now let's come to when you join the service. You are selected. There is lots of celebration in the family, among the friends. And then you go to Mussoorie. No, whenever you are selected, whichever service you join, have fun in the academy, training academy, but be focused also on your exams and preparation, because the marks of academy training are also added to your IAS exam performance, and then final merit list is prepared. I was 81st All India when I got selected. After Mussoorie and district training, I am 64th. So 64th All India in my batch. So I climbed 17-fold. The topper of our batch, Prasant, came to 4th position. He's in World Bank now. And Alok Kumar, who was 3rd, became topper. He's a Power Secretary, Government of India. So after academy, you go for your district training. You spend a year in the district. You spend the time with collector, SP, judiciary. So try to pick up things by seeing. Try to spend more time with your collector when DC, district magistrate, whatever nomenclature in Madhya Pradesh it's called collector. Everywhere collector is a district magistrate also, because when you are utilizing power under CRPC, Criminal Procedure Code and other acts, it's a district magistrate. When you are exercising your power under Revenue Act, then you are collector. So try to spend as much time seeing people doing things, because we are a very bright set of people. We observe things and learn. And then by observing, you know that the person who is doing, you can do it better. That's also the brightness of the crowd sitting here. What makes a big difference in everyone's life? And to succeed in any field, whether it's a management, whether it's a private sector, politics, college, lectureship, anything, what matters most? The first thing is your presence of mind, anywhere, in any situation. If you are few seconds ahead of others, and tremendous common sense. Common sense is becoming uncommon, very uncommon these days. And this idiot box has, we all have forgotten how to write letters. Can anyone raise a hand that in last year they have written a full-fledged letter? 2, 3, 4. In our days, go back, this telephone was not there. We used to wait for postman to come so that you get once a week or twice a week letter from your family or friend. And those letters you can go through many times. These days we are in Insta culture. We get angry instantly, we get happy instantly, and our mood keeps changing many times in a day. I saw my daughter once. Food is late, she is taking photo first, putting on Insta, and then eating. We had never had this privilege, हॉस्टल में जो खाना बना है वो खाओ या बाहर जाके मलकागंज या कमला नगर अपने पैसे खर्च करके खाओ. But these days you people have that privilege. So once you join the service, never think that you have arrived. Many of us get into that mode कि अरे साहब अब तो मैं बड़ा साहब बन गया और अब तो सब कुछ कर सकता हूँ. नहीं, that's just a beginning. And whatever you do or whatever reputation you make in those first 5-10 years, that takes you to places. In IAS also, there are various sorts of people. In any population, 10% of the people are very bright, 20% are dud, rest 70% are in between. So you have to decide where you want to be. Got selected, fine. Some people end up being district magistrate for longer years. Some people waste their time. After a year or two, they get transferred and they never get posted to a district again. But they are in IAS. They continue to get same salary, same privileges. But they don't get similar opportunity to work and serve people. So the decision is yours. So getting selected, going to your first posting is a beginning of your long journey. See, this service gives you so much of opportunity to serve people. If I recall 35 years of my 35 years of service I would have made positive difference in millions of life. Small. I'll give you 2-3 examples. कहीं हिंदी भी बोलूँगा because the punch comes in Hindi only. I was collector Raigad. Raigad is now in Chhattisgarh. It's a very large tribal district, 17 blocks. If you get on tour, it used to be 3 days tour because from one end to other end, then seeing things and coming back home used to take 3 days. The government had the scheme of eye operation. You do operation of cataract patients only. What are people who have refractive error, like those who can't read or write or see properly? We never had that scheme. So Mr. Ajit Jogi was MP from Raigad, a 70 batch IAS officer who resigned and then joined Rajya Sabha. He was MP from there. His wife is a doctor. She is an ophthalmologist also. So one day we were just touring in a district and I told her that, ma'am, we don't have such a scheme, but I see lots of people who can't do their regular work properly, their routine daily works properly because they can't see properly. Then she said, let's do something. And she got hold of many doctors, and we had 17 blocks. We organized 17 camps in those block headquarters. We identified 50,000 people who had refractive error. The doctors took their numbers, reading or distance seeing viewing number. We got 50,000 specs made from a Delhi vendor. The question was where the money will come from. So collector used to be chairman of Red Cross Society also. I asked my secretary how much money we have. He said, we have the balance of 20 lakhs. We spent just 8 lakh rupees on 50,000 specs, and we made difference in those 50,000 lives. And we have the blessings. We have the blessing of those people with us. Then I don't know whether you have seen young girls, small girls, boys. Have you seen anyone with cleft lip? Lip torn apart? It's a congenital issue. And in rural areas, those girls find very difficult to get married. It's such a social curse for them. Then I don't know whether you have seen, many children have cleft palate. Palate फटा हुआ होता है. They can't speak properly, they can't eat properly. So there used to be Lifeline Express, which is a train, and doctors come on that train. They do various surgeries and all. So as a Durg collector, we organize a surgery of cleft lip and palate. I still recall 423 children got operated, and they were fine after that. My daughter used to be, I think, 4 years or 5 years at that point of time. The whole city came together to take care of those children when they were hospitalized for 6-7 days, because they are poor children. The parents could not afford even 2 times food. So my daughter also used to serve something for them. घर से ले जाती थी कुछ मांग के. And lot of people. And we could make a positive difference in the life of those 420 children and their families. So such opportunities, if you are making school building, if you are making roads, if you can make good roads, the children can go to high school or college, especially the girls. In rural areas, girls are not allowed to travel long distances. Madhya Pradesh now has a scheme of giving bicycle to all school-going girls after 8th. And such a pleasant sight if you travel to rural areas in a car or any mode of transport between 9 to 10, you'll see hordes of girls bicycling and going to school. It's such a pleasure. If you compare 30 years before, there's tremendous difference. So all these differences you can make once you join IAS or civil services. It gives you tremendous satisfaction. If you compare with the private sector, it doesn't give you so much of money. IT company can give you a package of 1 crore or 2 crore. If you are a management graduate, you can get a 2 crore package or 1 crore package. IAS doesn't give you that much of package, but it gives you enough money so that you can lead a decent life. You get a decent government house, you get a car, you don't have to spend anything on telephone. So all, and then status in society. You are always looked up. You always get preference anywhere. So those are more than compensation. And then you end up contributing so much positive things in the life of so many people for future generations. If you're working on education, health, which service gives you this opportunity? No one else. People sitting here, even if you want to do, many of you must be thinking, let's do something. But there is no platform, there is no opportunity, there is nothing which gets you at a place where you can help people. IAS provides you that. I have been collector in 3 districts, 3 years each, 9 years. And I have tremendous satisfaction that God gave me this position, and I have been able to use that for betterment, not only for them, for ourselves also. We grew up in the service, we made our reputation as a performer because we got that opportunity to prove ourselves. Once you join the service, there will be lots of surprises also, especially for those people who are from large cities. My wife is from Calcutta. When we got married, she came for the first time to Sihora, which is a subdivision in Jabalpur district between Jabalpur and Katni, if one is familiar with Madhya Pradesh. So when she came for the first time to join me from Calcutta, Bombay Mail, Sihora में नहीं रुकते थे because Sihora is a small station. So I received her in Katni. Then I was driving my jeep. Once you are out of the town, then a street light is not available on the highways. She was quite surprised that तुम्हारे यहाँ street light नहीं होती है, because she never came out of Calcutta. Delhi, if you start from Ghaziabad and you go to Badarpur or Ambala side, you always see a street light on the road. Then, when I joined as a trainee in Satna district, I had a peon called Bisram. I was not married at that point of time. So, सब्जियों के नाम वो X बताता था, मैं Y बताता था. There was tremendous communication gap. First 2 days, he just made दाल चावल और अचार के साथ खाना खिलाया. मैंने पूछा क्यों सब्जी? बोला सब्जी आप बताते नहीं हो. So I gave him 100 rupees कि तू बाजार से जा, जो सब्जी है मिलती एक एक पीस ले आ, so that let's make a communication gap तो खत्म हो. Like बैगन, they call भटा. Arvi has some other name. Beans, they call it barbati. So, you were interviewed at that point of time also. So, we reached a consensus that we'll call this. उसको लिखवाया, मैंने भी लिखा, because how do I remember so many things? So, these are surprises. You will start your life in small places. When I joined Sihora, there was no ice cream shop. Remember the plight of a person from Nirula to nothing. Nirula CP में, अब तो कमला नगर में भी आ गया Nirula, हम लोग के समय नहीं था. So Badam Keoda of Nirula to nothing in Sihora. So you used to go to Jabalpur for having ice cream. And Jabalpur was only 50 kilometers, bad road, 1 hour drive. Even if you have to eat Chinese, you have to go to a larger town. So, but these are very interesting stories of life. You will enjoy, and not at that point of time, maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, and you will feel so happy narrating those things to your children, and I am waiting to narrate those things to my grandchildren. My daughter, we are going to be Nana or Nani in January end. We are looking forward to that. I was talking about presence of mind and common sense. No, the presence of mind can mar your life or make your life. 1990, I joined as SDO Sihora. Just after few months, Mr. Chandrasekhar, who was Prime Minister, made a visit to our subdivision. That subdivision has geographical center point of India called a village called Karaundi, which has a population of only 56 people. Deep jungle. He came to that place because he, after the fall of Janata government in 1979, none of you would have been born at that point of time. So he started his Bharat Jodo Yatra from there. So he wanted to host his party's annual meeting in a bloody village called Karaundi. There was no rest house or guest house nearby where we could make Prime Minister to stay, and Prime Minister wanted to make a night stay. So we got a new rest house made in 72 hours. 2 bedroom with a dining and drawing, 72 hours. And that building was made in 91, it still exists. I had gone there in March and I could see that building exists. It has certainly some cracks on the plaster, and I told the executive engineer कि इसकी मरम्मत तो करा दे भाई, थोड़ा सा लोगों को याद रखने के लिए ये रखा हुआ है. Then all other officers and ministers, we couldn't make permanent accommodation, so we made bamboo hut with thatched. So in one room Prime Minister stayed, in one room Governor stayed. I still vividly remember the name of the governor, Kumar Mahmood Ali Khan, a royal man from UP. Around 2 o'clock, Governor Sahab called young SDM. He said कि मुझे ठंड लग रजाई चाहिए. It was March 25th March. We never provided for रजाई. We just kept a चादर and blanket. अब रजाई उनके लिए लाते तो रजाई वो सिहोरा से लानी पड़ती है. सिहोरा from that place used to be 1.5 hour going, 1.5 hour coming. By the time morning हो जाती, मेरी तो नौकरी चली जाती. अब गवर्नर को आप नाराज करके नौकरी कैसे कर सकते हैं? So what I had kept 2 white चादर in my briefcase, a सुई धागा, thinking कि वहाँ कुछ भी नहीं है, किसी का बटन टूट गया, किसी को कुछ हुआ, अगर कोई टेबल क्लॉथ नहीं हुआ तो उस पर डाल देंगे. So we got hold of a tent house गद्दा, एक चादर सफ़ेद चादर नीचे, एक चादर ऊपर, सिलाई करवा के गवर्नर साहब को दे दिया. गवर्नर साहब ने सुबह बुला के गवर्नर साहब ने सुबह 6 साढ़े 6 बजे बुलाया. बोले एसडीओ साहब चाय पियो, मेरे साथ पियो. आपने रजाई दी, उसके बाद तो मुझे नींद आई, नहीं तो मुझे नींद ही नहीं आती. So this is your, I mean, you had the opportunity of getting tensed and sending someone to Sihora, जल्दी से लेके आओ, आप बीच में 4 बार टेलीफोन करो, बिकॉज टेलीफोन तो होती नहीं वहाँ. वो तो हम लोग के समय मैंने वी एसडीओ, वो ये वाली भी टेलीफोन नहीं थी. यूज टू पिकअप फ़ोन, फिर वो एक्सचेंज में उठाएगा, एक्सचेंज वाला जिसको आप कहोगे उसको नंबर लगाएगा, देन बात होती थी. एंड कोई लॉ एंड ऑर्डर हो जाती थी. द कलेक्टर यूज टू सिट इन जबलपुर. वी वांटेड पुलिस फोर्स, मोर पुलिस फोर्स, तो वायरलेस पे बात करनी पड़ती, बिकॉज द टेलीफोन हैड द टेंडेंसी ऑफ नॉट वर्किंग एट द मोस्ट रिक्वायर्ड टाइम. सो दैट सेव्ड माई जॉब, अदरवाइज I would have been thrown out or suspended. Then, whenever you go to a subdivision or district, you are the highest officer. The IAS officer is the highest person in that area. So everyone look up to you. And if you are married, then to your wife also. You are a trend setter. So try to make everyone's life slightly social and easy. And when I talk of social or dinner, it's not necessary that you organize expensive dinner. The best way of interacting with your colleagues in the district or in the subdivision is organize pool dinners. Your house will be the largest. It will always have a lawn which can accommodate 30-40 people. So we started with a pool dinner. 6-8 लोगों के यहाँ से कुछ बन के आ जाता था. And then things started. Then we started playing badminton. Badminton में we used to make a rotation कि इस महीने ये अफसर डिनर कराएगा, अगले महीने दूसरा अफसर डिनर कराएगा, तीसरे महीने तीसरा. So the turn gets repeated after 12 to 18 months. So what an investment. You invest in one dinner and get 17 dinners free. Here you get buy one get one free. There you get buy one get 17 free, 15 free. So that way, while breaking bread with your colleagues, your subordinates, थोड़ी लोगों में जो कम्युनिकेशन गैप होती है वो जाती है. एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम यू विल पिक अप योर फोन एंड टेल द पर्सन कि ये काम करना है, इसको जल्दी से कर दो. सो वंस यू आर slightly socially familiar, the performance becomes much better. Then try to build your reputation. See what differentiates an IAS officer from others, or what is expected of an IAS officer. Why so much focus or ho halla about IAS officer? There are other people also. See, to me, IAS officers are different for few reasons. You are expected to be absolutely thorough. ये नहीं कि साहब मुझे नहीं मालूम है, आप सीखिए, आप जानिए. You can't take a plea कि ये समस्या मेरा समाधान नहीं हो सकता है. Then where will people go? For them, you are in between Bhagwan and them. So you got to be absolutely thorough. You got to be very fair and punctual. यार ये सोचो गांव से आदमी आपके पास अपनी समस्या लेके आया है. What he has lost? He has lost 1 day wages. Then he has spent on bus fare. If he comes to town, he will spend on food also. So he is losing at 3 places. और आप उसको टाइम से नहीं मिलते हो. So fix a time. Fix a time of meeting people. Maybe it's twice a week. Fine. It should be known to people that if I go at this point of time, कलेक्टर साहब या एसपी साहब या एसडीएम साहब मुझसे मिल लेंगे. You know, they come with a very small requests. किसी को हेल्थ फैसिलिटी चाहिए, किसी को दवाई चाहिए, किसी की पटवारी से ज़मीन की प्रॉब्लम है, किसी की बेटी किसी के साथ भाग गई है, किसी कुछ. I mean, you know, these are small things, and your little help makes tremendous difference in their life. So you make your reputation of being very hardworking, accessible. Then once you join service, whether you have risk-taking abilities or not, please develop that. Because your job will require lots of risk-taking, but don't be foolhardy. Take calculated risks where the chances of success is more than the failure. There is no point of taking a risk always and failing always. We all have failed sometimes, but after failure, collect yourself, try to do with double vigor. All of us have learned from our mistakes. There is always a course correction. Never be afraid of that. Never fear anything. You got to be bull in China shop, get the bull by horn and do it. If you can't do it, no one else will do it. मैंने देखा है कि कलेक्टर की शिकायत लेके एसपी के पास नहीं जाते हैं लोग. एसपी की शिकायत लेके कलेक्टर के पास जरूर आते हैं. So people have trust in those institutions. If you join the service, try to work so hard that people's trust in those institutions which you are going to occupy one day is maintained. Earns people respect. No, if you are keeping your words, if you do what you have said, if you are a performer, if you get things done, people respect you tremendously. And your next, from your first posting, second posting, your reputation to your another posting goes earlier than you. And learn to respect, develop a respect for age. अपने से बड़े उम्र में ज़्यादा लोगों जो ज़्यादा है उसकी इज्जत ज़रूर करो. You are not going to lose anything. Most of us learn this at a later age. I will request you all, whichever life, whichever profession you join, please learn to respect the age as early as you can. Then when you go for a meeting or you are taking a meeting, you should be better prepared than others. Because in meetings, many things come up, many problems come up, and people look up to you and only you for solution. If you don't provide solution, where do they go? So you got to be more thorough, more forward thinking, and here again the presence of mind and common sense comes. I still remember in my second year, they used to be ragging that time, ragging up to kam ho gaya. So there used to be one Amarjit Singh Jat. He joined Navy. तो उसको मैंने कहा कि हिस्ट्री के सिलेबस में लाइब्रेरी से लाया हूँ, इसको कॉपी कर दे. So he started writing in such a way that I can't read. So that I tell him कि छोड़ तेरे handwriting ठीक नहीं, तू छोड़ दे. I told him बेटा तू capital letter में करेगा. So you have to develop a tendency of getting work from everyone. Half of your subordinate will be superb. You just tell them and they will do exactly the way you want or better than that. 20% इतने सर्कर होंगे कि अगल बगल, they will try not to do that so that their work is transferred to someone else. Don't do that. Make them bloody work, they are also being paid. Unless it's an emergency, never give those circles a chance. Then, time management, we all have 24 hours. We need 6 to 8 hours for sleep, then some time to eat, time to bathe and everything. So, whatever time suppose you have 10 to 12 hours for your office work, don't waste your time, neither allow others to waste your time. Whoever has come to meet you in office, meet him, hear him out or her out and dispose so that other person can get same time. I always had many ministers from my districts. When I was collector in Narsinghpur, I had 2 stalwart ministers, one finance minister and one energy minister. Finance minister was second generation minister. His father was also finance minister for 10 years. In one of the meeting, we had a tiff. I was just 6 months old collector in that district. तो मंत्री जी ने कहा कि कलेक्टर साहब मैं आपको जेल भिजवा दूंगा. तो मैं भी यंग था, मैंने बोला मंत्री जी आप मुझे जेल नहीं भिजवा सकते हैं, आप मेरा ट्रांसफ़र कर जेल तो मैं आपको भिजवा सकता हूँ. तो in retrospect it seems कि मैं नहीं भी कहता तो भी काम चलता, बट यंग थे कह दिया. So he complained to chief minister. Mr. Digvijay Singh was our chief minister. दिग्विजय सिंह साहब ने रात को मुझे फ़ोन किया, क्या तुम मेरे मंत्री को सांप बिच्छू बताते रहता है. And then I continued in that district for another 2.5 years. And Mr. Musran and me had a good time. Whenever I used to go Bhopal, he used to call me for breakfast. Then I was collector Raigad. One of the minister, I will not name him because he is alive. So he had wrongly mutated Mandir's almost prime land in his name and his family's name in Raigad town. And I'm talking about, I was collector Raigad 95, 98, 96, 97. That time the value of land was almost 3 crore. Today it will be at least 30 crores. So I registered a case against him. So he was very furious. He wanted to immediately get me transferred. But as luck would have, I would continue to be his collector for another 2 years. So he complained to Chief Minister. तो चीफ मिनिस्टर ने मुझे फ़ोन किया, अगेन सेम चीफ मिनिस्टर. तो आई टोल्ड हिम कि ये गड़बड़ हुआ है सर, मंदिर की जमीन मंत्री जी ने अपने परिवार के नाम करा लिया, उसको बेचने की तैयारी में, तो मैंने रोक लगाई हुई है. तो चीफ मिनिस्टर कुड गेस कि गड़बड़ तो हुआ है. तो उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि मिनिस्टर के अगेंस्ट FIR दर्ज मत करना. हमने कहा वो नहीं करूँगा, बट केस तो सब चलेगी. एंड अल्टीमेटली वी गॉट द लैंड रिवर्टेड बैक इन मंदिर्स नेम. And my SDM who did it, he was a scheduled caste officer, very good officer, SR Bandhe. When I became Durg collector, so I got him transferred to Durg as SDM. This minister became GAD minister who used to look after the transfer and postings. So I knew that he will not let him join. आई टोल्ड बांधे कि तुम सुबह 4 बजे की बॉम्बे में लो, 9 बजे दुर्ग पहुँचो और 10 बजे से पहले ज्वाइन कर लो. वो 10 बजे आ गया, उसको ज्वाइन करा लिया. एट 10 आई गॉट द कॉल फ्रॉम चीफ सेक्रेटरी कि उसका ट्रांसफ़र हम कैंसिल करें, उसको ज्वाइन मत कराइएगा. तो हमने बोला हम तो ज्वाइन करा लिए सर, तो ज्वाइन कर लिया. देन दैट डे ओनली द मिनिस्टर इशूड अ सस्पेंशन ऑर्डर फॉर हिम. सस्पेंशन ऑर्डर आया, मैंने उसको अपने सूटकेस में रख लिया. I didn't get it served on the officer. So the minister was very angry. The principal secretary GAD called me to his office and gave me a peace of mind. अच्छी डांट लगाई, but डांट खा के मैं बाहर आ गया, मैं कुछ किया नहीं. So the file was sent to chief minister. उस फाइल पे लिखा हुआ था कि कलेक्टर दुर्ग ICP केसरी को शासन के आदेशों को न मानने की आदत सी लगती जा रही है. सो चीफ मिनिस्टर वुड लाइक टू सी एंड टेक एक्शन. सो चीफ मिनिस्टर भी उस्ताद थे, IAS के ही थे. तो ही रोट ऑन फाइल कि आप वरिष्ठ अधिकारी हैं, आप उनको बुला के समझाइश क्यों नहीं देते. सो आई वॉज अगेन कॉल्ड to the same officer, principal secretary, again given a good jhad, and I didn't do anything. Then next day chief minister came to my district. I told him, sir या तो कैंसिल कर दो या मेरे को हटा दो. Next day his suspension order was cancelled and I followed the letter and threw it in the dustbin. You know, Mr. Jogi, when he became chief minister, he was MP from Raigad. So Raigad mein there was a home guard ground where home guard used to do parade, and children wanted to play also because it was in the heart of the city. So I worked out a solution कि सुबह 6 से 8 और शाम 4 से 6 परेड होती है, तो उसके अलावा बच्चे खेल सकते हैं. But his supporter wanted, he was Congress MP. कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट थी. ही सपोर्टर वांटेड कि नहीं हम तो उसी समय खेलेंगे, 6 बजे अंधेरा हो जाता है. हमने कहा 4 बजे पहले खेल ले, माने नहीं. देन द स्टेट के साथ मैं धरना करूँगा, वहाँ नहीं परेड करने देंगे, मैं लठ मारूँगा. सो व्हेन मिस्टर जोगी केम टू अ विजिट, ही कॉल्ड मी इन द सर्किट हाउस. आई वेंट टू सर्किट हाउस. ही सेड कि तुम हमारे लोगों को बोलते हो कि लठ मारेंगे. हम कहा सब मारेंगे. बोले मैं भी धरने में बैठूंगा. मैंने कहा आपको भी मारूंगा. एंड एज लक वुड हैव इट, ही बिकेम चीफ मिनिस्टर ऑफ न्यू स्टेट. फ्रॉम MP he became chief minister of that state. But you know, look at the maturity of politician. He had the opportunity of throwing me out. He made me collector of a larger district called Durg Bhilai, and told his minister कि इसने मुझे कहा था लठ लगाएंगे, वहाँ 5 मंत्री आपस में लड़ते रहे तो उनको ठीक रखेगा. See, so people talk of political interference. See, 98% of your work, 96% of your work, there is no political interference. Never go into this with this bent of mind कि IAS में या सर्विसेज में पॉलिटिक्स बहुत है, लोग बड़े दबाव डालते हैं. No. In 96% of your works, 97% of your work, there is no pressure. You do whatever you feel right. Only 2-3%, then if you make your reputation good, or even that 3% becomes to 1%, 1% ठीक है यार, चलता है. We are not perfect. And the last thing, see, we are expected to perform in any circumstances. I still recall when Babri Masjid went down in 1992, me and Rajinder Vij, my batchmate in police, we were posted in Gwalior, additional collector Gwalior. So my commissioner told us कि बेटा तुम लोग तो घर नहीं जाओगे. So after 96 hours, we went home. कि कुछ, we never had bath for those 3 days, but it was winter, so we could afford to. We used to eat in control room, use the washroom of police control room, and be on the move in the town. So it was 8 o'clock when we both got home. कमिश्नर का थोड़ी देर के बाद फ़ोन आ गया, ए वेरी सीनियर 72 बैच ऑफिसर, कि तुम लोग आज की रात और निकाल लो. दोज द एक्सपीरियंस हैज अ फोरसाइट. उस रात को क्या हुआ, ग्वालियर में एक मंदिर की शिवलिंग तोड़ दिया लोगों ने, सो दैट उसको सुबह देख के फिर हंगामा होगा. सो एज अ प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर हम लोग अपनी गाड़ी में नए शिवलिंग, नए एक आध गणेश भगवान की कुछ और प्रतिमा रखते थे, और सीमेंट, कन्नी, तसला और तालाब की मिट्टी भी थोड़ी सी रखते थे. बिकॉज नई मूर्ति आप लगाओगे तो पहचान में आ जाएगी सभी, तो सफ़ेद है, अच्छी मूर्ति है, तो नई लगी है. तो नई मूर्ति लगा के उस पर तालाब की मिट्टी थोड़ी लीप दो, उसको फिर धो दो तो थोड़ी काला हो जाता था. सो मिस्टर वाजपेयी वॉज MP एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ इन हिज एरिया. रात को एक मंदिर तोड़ दी, फिर मैं और एडिशनल SP ने रात को उसको ठीक कराया. सुबह लोग जगते उसके पहले ठीक हो गई. देयर वाज नो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर ऑन दैट. सो इफ कमिश्नर वुड नॉट हैव आस्क्ड अस टू गो, ही हैड सिक्स्थ सेंस कि कुछ आज रात को कुछ हो सकता है, तुम लोग जाओ. देन आप जिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में रहोगे या जिस जगह पोस्टेड रहोगे, यूथ को थोड़ा चैनलाइज करना चाहिए कंस्ट्रक्टिव वर्क में, बिकॉज दे आर फुल ऑफ एनर्जी. सो इट्स द चॉइस इज विथ यू, either you channelize them in good things or make them find their ways. So you can start with a small sports tournament. If you are, and we all are young enough at that point of time as SDOs that we can also play with them. I still recall of making a stadium in Raigad with a swimming pool. I asked, we had 5 MPs and 13 MLAs. I took 10 lakh each from MPs and 5 lakh each from MLAs from their fund. And I compensated them in the rural areas. कि आप अपने MP MLA फंड से मुझे अर्बन एरिया के लिए दे दो, अर्बन एरिया के मेरे पास पैसे नहीं हैं, मैं रूरल एरिया के में आपको डबल आपके कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी के लिए दे दूंगा. So it was trade off. So we got a stadium made. So we could see 300, 400 children using those facilities. बैडमिंटन है, क्रिकेट है, टेनिस है, स्विमिंग पूल है. छोटे जगहों में इफ़ देयर इज नो फैसिलिटीज, कबड्डी टूर्नामेंट करा दो यार, फुटबॉल टूर्नामेंट करा लो, लगे रहो इन यूथ को, उनको मज़ा भी आता है. एंड दे आर योर बेस्ट एमिसरीज. कोई भी शहर में कुछ होने वाला होगा तो पहले से आपको बता देंगे, साहब ये बदमाशी कर रहा है, ये ऐसा होने वाला है. सो दे आर योर मैसेंजर ऑल्सो ऑफ योर परफॉर्मेंस. So it's a win-win situation for you. And they will remember you for all time to come. When I was in my first posting, Dilip Dubey was a student union president of his college. उसको मैंने लठ लगाया था. When I came back to Madhya Pradesh in 2014 after Government of India, मैं Government of India में joint secretary था Power Ministry में. I worked as a PS to Mr. Kamal Nath also when he was Commerce Minister. So I went back to state after 8 years. So suddenly I saw in Ballabh Bhavan someone coming and touching the feet. तो बोला सर मैं दिलीप दुबे हूँ, आपने मारा था, देखो मैं अब MLA बन गया. And then we had acted against few ministers. One of them is a powerful minister in the central government. But these politicians, if you are not vindictive, if you are not show off, they respect you, even if after. I still enjoy a good time with the minister whom I arrested and against whose brother I acted. I जिला बदल उसका किया था, फिर NSA किया था. He also became our minister. But we still have a good term. We drink tea together, we eat together, and अच्छी बातें होती हैं. So they don't. Politicians are very large-hearted. So never think that in politician will trouble you unless you are unfair to them. If you are even-handed, if you are performer, if you don't have personal agenda, your life will be good, easy. And at the end, take out time for your family also. Family is also very important. We all tend to neglect them. But whatever little time you get, spend time with your family. Go to your children, parent teachers meeting, PTA. Otherwise, your child will remember that all throughout life. But if you are going 8 months, if you are not in a position to go for few months, they still understand the issue. But you not going in any of the PTAs, that will be disastrous. The child will not forgive you. So, whoever joins civil services, all the best, work hard, go and do good for people. And now, any questions, any clarification, anything you want to know today or later also, if someone wants to prepare and needs some assistance, you are most welcome. My telephone number remains the same, email address remains the same. Any question, anyone has any?
Good morning, sir. I'm Mansi. I'm studying the second year of my graduation. Sir, like you have told, you have the subject psychology in your UPSC exam. So it's my major subject in graduation, and I have a huge interest in it. But these days, I am thinking of it to take as my optional. But these days we see that the psychology subject didn't give much score. मतलब score नहीं कर पाते लोग. So sir, should I go with my interest or should I change my optional subject?
See, आपको जिसने बताया कि psychology is not scoring, it's not correct. I never studied psychology. I got 50%, 300 out of 600 in first attempt, 316 in second attempt. And in UPSC, anything above 50% is considered a good, though I got 60 plus in history. But my suggestion will be, since psychology is your main subject, stick to psychology and try to practice, try to write short answers. Suppose where we lose marks, those who say that it's not scoring, maybe they are at fault. If the question is of 100 words or 200 words, the examiner will certainly give you negative mark if you write those in 150 or 200 into 300 words. So and we in psychology never studied many books. I still remember Morgan and King, Atkinson, ये 3-4 किताबें ही पढ़ी थी. And both time we got marks. So unless you decide, don't hear what others say. It's not scoring. If you think you can do better in other subject, go for that.
Good morning, sir. Myself Pankaj Saini. I'm from Hansraj College, second year from Geology Honors. My question is, what is the biggest failure of your life and how did you handle it? And what should you learn about it? And second question is, did you have a girlfriend in your during? and can I take a geology and an optional subject?
तुम्हारे लास्ट क्वेश्चन का जवाब पहले देता हूँ. गुड आई डिडंट कम विथ माई वाइफ. ठीक है. जियोलॉजी, you have two shining examples of geologists in services. आपने यूपी के एडीजी लॉ एंड ऑर्डर प्रशांत कुमार को देखा होगा. मुच, ही इज फ्रॉम जियोलॉजी, हंसराज कॉलेज. प्रिंसिपल चीफ कंजर्वेटर ऑफ फॉरेस्ट बिहार, आशुतोष, इज अगेन फ्रॉम जियोलॉजी. So we have many officers from geology in services. So it's again up to you which subject you are comfortable with. Think properly, but don't change in between, otherwise you will be loser, because you have worked on that subject for few months, then you change, then you will have to start all over again. ठीक है. तो जियोलॉजी इज a good subject. It's no subject is a bad subject. हिस्ट्री में 300 सवा 300 मार्क्स अधिक नहीं आते हैं. बोथ टाइम 400 मार्क्स हियर. इट्स अप टू यू हाउ मच यू प्रैक्टिस, हाउ मच यू कंट्रोल. थर्ड क्वेश्चन.
This is Anasha. I'm in Honours Philosophy, first year student from Hansraj College. My question is that you gave your UPSC exam twice. In the first time you secured IPS, which is a really esteemed profession, and in your second attempt you secured IES. So my question would be, what would you do in the first time only to get the IES cadre itself? Because you must have had a roller coaster of learning the steps which you shouldn't have taken or should have taken, which would have made the difference in the 1 year.
Only one difference. My GS, General Studies first paper out of 300, I got 105 in first attempt, because I did really bad in my statistical part of that paper. I identified my weakness and worked hard, and I got 205 in the next exam on the same paper. So that's why I say identify your strength and weakness, work on that. Thank you.
A beacon of true inspiration. Thank you so much, sir, for your kind and generous words. I'm sure all the budding aspirants would be overwhelmed with this bundle of experience and motivation. Our day has been blessed to have you here with us. Being our college alumnus, it makes all the forward aspirants more enthusiastic and makes this dream more real and achievable. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would like to call on stage our president for the vote of thanks.
So first of all, without taking much of your time, I would just like to express my gratitude to our chief speaker for today's session, Mr. ICP Keshri sir, for taking out his time and gracing this juncture as the chief speaker for our flagship event TECAS 22. I would also like to express my gratitude to our alumnus, Mr. Prashant Dagar sir, for joining us in this esteemed juncture. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. And apart from this, I would also like to thank our esteemed principal and convener, Professor Dr. Rama ma'am and Dr. Mahendra Prajapati sir. However, due to some unforeseen developments, they couldn't join us today here. Special thanks to all of you for turning out in such a large numbers and gracing this event, making this successful. Thank you so much. If you can, you could just please clap for yourself. Thank you so much for being here. And yeah, with this, I would now like to announce the closure of the first session, and then there's a second session lined up. So we would be just wrapping up with the first segment, and thank you so much for joining.
I request sir to please come onto the stage.
An illustrious mentor always embarks on a venture to conquer pessimism, fear, and insecurities embedded in the minds of the other students. While downturns are inevitable in the journey, sincere and sagacious efforts to bridge these lacunae attribute to the phenomenal dedication and passion to guide their mentees to the right path.
A very pleasant good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Ankit, the PR and Sponsorship Head,
And I, Amir Ali, the technical head of NISHRA, the Civil Services Society of Hansraj College,
extend a hearty welcome to our most renowned chief guest speaker, Mr. Sachin Arora sir, and the cordial audience for gracing and adding value to the already vibrant session. Nishna is at the brim of jubilation and felicity to announce Mr. Sachin Arora as the second speaker for the grandiose flagship event Ekans 2022 in the history of the society. He is a prominent mentor of geography in Unacademy who is the true epitome of analytical acumen. This session hallmarks the impeccable collaboration between the charities of integrating and molding the future bureaucrats of the country.
With 15 years of efficacious mentoring, he has facilitated many aspirants to understand the basic truths of geography in a very lucid and concise manner, and became the reason for many students to get into the top 100 ranks. He hails from South Delhi and studied at Delhi University and JNU. His 15 years of experience in teaching the aspirants of UPSC CSE has elevated his role as a mentor. His unique style of teaching geography is exceptional and in turn has brought fruitful results.
According to well-known proverbs, a plan is the only way to get us closer to our objectives. So, in order to sail through one of the toughest examinations, we must have a right vehicle of plan, that is, the right strategy. Sir will delegate his words on his UPSC preparation kit, a unique, innovative method which he devised for the benefit of all the aspirants out there. He will impart us with knowledge and guidance that will enable us to take reins of our own journey.
Now, I would like to request Sir to please take the forum and address the most awaited audience.
How many of you know that we don't have one brain? In fact, all of us are blessed with two brains. And as long as those two brains are aligned, magic happens in life. And if those two brains are not aligned, well, magic goes out of life. I know this because 25 years ago, probably in one of the colleges in Delhi University, not far away from here, I was in your situation and both the brains talking differently, different language, creating a lot of confusion. It took me almost 7 years. I touched almost 7 continents and crossed almost 5 oceans to come to a conclusion, what do I want to do in life? Yes? So how many of you sitting here know what you want to do in your life? You're very clear about it. Oh my God, that's really a big number. Blessed people. Blessed people. How many of you are confidently confused? I really don't know what life is going, where it is going. Confidently confused. Oh my God. I'm looking at an audience which is so clear about things. Chale, let me see where we are heading in this. So first thing is, civil services as a career. When we are talking about that, we just saw Keshri sir coming in, and I'm very sure, with a poster outside in the college, you always are inspired by the fact that someone who's an alumni has made it big in that. The service that he talked of, these experiences that he talked of, they were also inspiring. But the fact is, what is the journey to that? Are we in a position to do that or not? So today I'm going to talk about that. The first thing which I felt was, when I was in your position, and I'm really a little unlucky that I missed that question where you asked sir whether he had a girlfriend or not. Yes. So unfortunately, I was just moving out. I heard the question. I said I should have stopped because this is the second brain question which has been asked right now. Get that? So I want to tell you that college time is the time, and I'm told that many of you are absolute beginners, fresher. There are a lot of stimulus. I can do so many things. Sky is the limit. Yes or no? When we talk to seniors, when we look up to them, we really feel that yes, this is the time, this is what I want to achieve. But then there are self-doubts. And whether what I am doing is that the right way or not. Okay, that I also had self-doubts, and in those self-doubts, probably there were 3 decisions in those 7 years which helped me come back. But that took 7 years. So today I'm here not to tell you what to do, but how can we avoid those 7 years? How can we come out from mist to clarity? So first decision which I took was, I was in St. Stephen's College, so I decided that I should take up a job. Yes. So how many of you are very this thing that you want to go for a job? Job milna chahiye. Yes. Nobody wants to do a job? No? See, we are so shy of raising hands also. They are not clicking your pictures, don't worry. So the job thing comes to your mind. So at the college I thought, yeah, I need a job. And good colleges, we all get jobs. The second decision I took somewhere in Atlantic Ocean near Norway, that I need to quit the job. Why do I need to quit the job? Because our thought is that job should come to us whichever way. What job we want to do, we're really not clear about that. So second one, I left and then I came back to India. Traveling many continents, many oceans. Get that? And then I had the same confusion, those 2 brains, remember? Those 2 brains conflicting. What do I want to do? I really was not clear. I'm so glad to see so many people who are clear. So this third decision came at another university. I was at JNU doing my geography over there in masters. And then something came from the back of my mind. What are you doing? Why aren't you teaching? I said, what? Teaching? After all these years, teaching? But why should I teach? But something again told me teaching. That is what you want to do. And last 16 years have just been a cakewalk because I wanted to do what I am doing. Yes? So civil services, when I'm asking you, are you really looking for that service? That is the question number 1. Second thing is, do you have apprehensions whether I'll be able to do or not? So first of all, are we very clear that we are going for civil services as a career? Yes? Perfect. Do you have apprehensions and fears about it, that I may go wrong? Yes or no? Yes, no. Somebody said psychology lena hai ya nahi lena hai. Abhi to, but we change our mind on that. So there are fears. So you may not be aware of those 2 things. So can I do an exercise with the class? Yes? So where is the brain coming in and how am I going to talk about that? So the first thing is, would you want to see that you have 2 brains? Yes, experience that? True? Okay. So your nose, 1 finger, can you put it like this, everyone? Upar niche sab log? Yes? Second finger in front of it, all in line? Yes? Some people are wondering, karna hai ya nahi karna? Don't worry, पीछे से आके कोई थप्पड़ नहीं मारेगा. It's all safe. Yes? Is this my mic doing that? Okay, perfect. Now, I want you to turn your fingers in a way that both your fingers are going away from your nose and going in the circle like this. Everyone? Are we able to do that? Everyone? True? Perfect. Can you reverse it also? Everyone, can you reverse it also? Everyone? How many brains are working? I don't know, sir. You told us there are 2 brains. Yes? 1 brain is working. I want your second brain to come into action. So everyone, don't be tired, yaar. Come on, abhi to shuru hua hai. This one goes like this, goes away from you. Yes? And that one comes back. Now there are locks happening. Yes? No, 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 not like this. Some people are stuck like this. It's not moving. True? There's one brain. There's one brain which is telling us instant gratification. There is one brain which said, college, girlfriend, hona chahiye, boyfriend, hona chahiye, yes or no? And there is another brain which says, yes, that's absolutely okay, but career, great opportunity, I should be doing that also. True or not? Is there a divide or not? If you say there is no divide, well, you are lying. There is an absolute divide on things that what should I do right now in short term, what should I do in long term. So the idea is, when I am bringing this conversation to all of you, is that what can we do short term and what can we do long term so that we reach the civil services, the desired goal. Get that? So first thing is, where I am standing, in how many directions can I move right now? I am a geography teacher, so I have a tendency to talk about directions. So how many directions can I move around? 360 directions or not? Yes? So people preparing for civil services have 360 different ideas and they start doing that. When they start doing that, they will start moving in one direction, and after some time somebody tells them this may not be the best. True? And then they start thinking otherwise. So how do we get rid of this thing? First is, if you want to cut those dimensions, can we decide where we are going? If I decide the end point from my start point, how many directions are left? Only one. Yes or no? 359 are gone. So what is that one direction which I am choosing? I am choosing the end point there. We had ICP Keshari sir sitting over there. Yes or no? I don't have to tell you that civil services is an amazing career. You already got a glimpse of that. Many of you know about that. Yes or no? So we've set the goal over there. Now comes, what should I do for that? Get that? What should I do for that? So let me come back to my position and what should I do? So first thing which I should do is, if you are in the college, you will not get this opportunity again. So really do your college well. First thing is, really do your college well. No point escaping it. Some people are, I do meet in my last 15 years, I have met many people who have given up on college. They are sitting at home preparing for this civil services examination. I want to tell you, in the interview, the same people come and tell me, sir, what hobby do I tell when these people ask me to fill up a hobby in civil services interview? When you talk to them, there's a big question mark on their personality development. I know of students who stopped going to schools and colleges after 10th standard and started preparing for civil services. In my mind, that's a very left brain, short-term idea. So first of all, you are in the college, participate in academics as well as extracurriculars, fully. Get that? So you want to know how much time do you need for civil services preparation? Yes? 4 hours a day, can you spare that? 4 hours a day, when you need a holiday, take a holiday. Get that? 4 hours a day. If 4 is more, make it 3. Is that okay? Can I give you some year-wise plan also? First year students, second year students, third year students? Yes? So, let's make it 3 hours, because there are students who come to me, they commit, sir, I am going to do whatever is needed for civil services, I'll give 12 hours. After a week, I don't see them ever. Get that? तो ये देशभक्ति से ओतप्रोत आइडिया नहीं है. We're just looking at 3 hours. If you're a person who can do it consistently for 3 hours in one stretch, that's okay. I'm a person who doesn't have that big an attention span. I have an attention span of 1 hour. I'm very effective in that. You stretch me more, my effectivity goes down. Can you give me a morning 1 hour, an afternoon 1 hour and an evening 1 hour? Would that impact your college or can it continue? It can continue, no? Yes? Okay. First is I am requesting 3 hours and I will tell each year which you should be doing that. Second thing is I am requesting a habit. I am requesting a habit. I believe we human beings are nothing but slaves of habits. Get that? So people who are used to taking a bath every day, and if they came here not to miss the event without taking a bath, you are supremely uncomfortable right now because you are in a habit of taking a bath. Yes or no? And people who are in a habit of taking a bath every Valentine's Day only, for them every day is the same. Yes? It is only the problem to the people sitting next to them, but for them it's absolutely okay. So I'm saying we are a bundle of habits, and I want to tell you that if you can nurture one habit, your exam, especially general studies, will go effortlessly, and that is reading the newspapers. Get that? Now, this year, Aishwarya Verma, rank 4, he was my student. Anjali Shrotriya, she was rank 44, she was my student. So, immediately after the result, so I decided, I was at home, I decided to do a Zoom call with them. And I was just discussing their strategy. I said, so many people come to me about newspapers. They keep on asking me, even before the examination, sir, is it necessary to read newspaper? So I tell them, yes, it is necessary. So they are not able to do it. So what did you two guys did? They said, sir, we hated the newspaper. For first 6 to 8 months, we hated it, we resisted it, but we did not give up. We did not give up. And today is a stage when we have cleared this examination in the top ranks. We know that that was the most important part of our examination. Now, if you decide to cultivate this habit 3 years from now, if you are in the first year of passing out from the college, that may not be the best idea, true or not? Yes? So, newspaper, then there are many newspapers. If you are looking for visual delights, Times of India is there, all visual and all delightful. But if you're looking for some substance, then the Hindu, the Express, these are 2 newspapers. You can choose, but you should have them. People who already have these newspapers, how many of you have already subscribed such newspapers? Oh wow. And is that getting collected or not? Means every day there is guilt that you've not been able to read it. Ikatha bhi to ho raha hai. Yes or no? So I would say people who are having this guilt that I have not read the newspaper for last 2 months, or maybe occasionally I read that, get rid of it. Nothing is lost. Whenever you want to start, you can start now. Get that? That is one thing which I would want your habit is if you have newspapers. Second thing is, it's an amazing college. You know, I remember my grandparents used to live in Malkaganj, so I've grown up looking at this college. I always thought, one day I'll also come to the college. It just so happened, after 12th I had some options, so I went for St. Stephen's, but the thought was there, so I am here meeting you. That deep thought remains, and that deep thought brings you to the same college also. I would say that if you are in this college, there are so many activities happening in this. Some of you, can you choose debating as your hobby? Yes, it will really work for you, because civil services answer writing is about developing an opinion. I find so many students who are still willing to clear the examination using the guide. Sir, can you give us a collection of question and answers? So how many of you are in second year and third year? People, second year and third year? Okay, amazing. Second year, third year, the previous year you passed, did those guides help us or not? Guide books help करती है नहीं करती हैं? बहुत से लोग उसी से पास होते हैं. True. अब ऐसे बोल नहीं पा रहे हो, that's okay. But civil services में, when people are looking for such guides, sir, give me 100 questions, I'll mug them up and I'll write them. That prolongs their journey unnecessarily. I told you, 7 years I took just to come to a conclusion what I want to. I'm thankful it made me travel across the world, but I'm saying we can do it right now. We can do it very well right now. Number one is cultivate those habits which will further our goal. So one is newspapers, second is debating. I have seen people picking up confrontations with each other, verbal confrontations. It's a very healthy way of going ahead if you can pick up debating. Get that? How many of you are not very comfortable with English language? Not very comfortable with writing, speaking English language? Perfect. If you choose to give the examination in English language, nothing can be better than the years spent in the college. You saw Keshri sir, you're seeing me, you'll see ma'am also coming in. What you see is the edifice, what you see is the tower, what you don't see is the foundation which went deep inside. When sir said that effortlessly I wrote the examination, even without preparation, I was able to get 300 out of 600 in psychology. आप जाके देख लीजिए, करके देख लीजिए, won't happen. I'm sure he had a lot of foundation going into it. When the question came, you saw how he was dealing with real administration situations. Yes or no? Was he looking for a guidebook? Was he looking for some question answers how to deal with a politician? No, he was not. I'm saying college is the time if you can develop that is what you must be using. Get that? So two things, don't worry on that. They might not show up anywhere. But you will feel that there is something buoyant in you as you learn your newspaper learning, as you go into your hobbies. Two things done. First year people, I have a very simple thing for you. Don't even bother about anything else. 6 to 12th NCRTs. Can they be done? You've just come to the college, you just finished your NCRTs. And if you want to skip, you can skip the mathematics NCRT. You can skip the science NCRTs of class 11th and 12th. Chalega? They are hardcore. People who are science students, how many science students here? I can understand your pain. Yes. And if you are still in science, you have a lot of pain yet to come. Get that? Sir, how can you say that? Chemistry honors? Yes, not a small thing. Yes. Physics. And like we know where the pain is, so let's not get into that. So I am saying first year students, just NCRT 6 to 12th, 11th and 12th, remove maths and science. Possible? 3 hours a day and newspaper. Get that? Now our left brain, remember there are two brains, one brain is saying isse ho jayega kya? Too less yaar. IAS banna hai? I am guaranteeing isse ho jayega. Because you will be there in the second year also, no? The world is not coming to an end. COVID is behind us, yes or no? I carried a mask. I was the only one wearing a mask in this college. मैंने कहा यार ये तो अजीब लग रहा है, मैंने उतार दिया. You all are safe. Now I see at least in auditorium some people have masks. Yes? So I'm saying second year I have some other task for you. Is the first year task clear? I really want to tell you that if you break down big things into such tasks, things can happen. I had a student, she was giving her examination and she was doing a BCom in some of the colleges here. And she just happened to be there in the final year and she just happened to come to our institute and she was preparing. She was not even serious about this examination. How do I know that? Because when she got an interview call, I asked her, so why do you want to become a civil servant? She said, Papa ne bheja hai. I said, what? She said, Papa said coaching institute nearby, why don't you go over there? So I came, I liked your classes, I enjoyed it, samajh aa gaya, I wrote the exam, pass ho gayi. I said, but you can't say this in the interview, no? You have to say something that inspired you. She said, I am not inspired yet. She was not into such seminars. She did not listen to the story which Keshri sir had to share. Yes or no? It's an inspiring career. And I want to tell you, if you were born and brought up in Delhi, brought up and educated in Delhi, you rarely see the power of a civil servant. Yes or no? डीप दूर दराज यूपी बिहार में आप पढ़े हैं, आपको पता है भोकाल, फुल भोकाल. अब वो यूट्यूब भी आ गया, एंट्री हो रही है, टॉपर की एंट्री, सब लोग लगे हुए हैं उसी में लगना है. ये सुनो. एंड दैट होल आइडिया ऑफ सिविल सर्विसेज बीइंग नेशनल हॉबी कम्स फ्रॉम दोज बेल्ट्स. कुछ अपने लिए कर रहे हैं, कुछ उनके लिए कर रहे हैं, कुछ उनके पापा के लिए कर रहे हैं. So many reasons for that. So I said, well, you're going to write the examination, you're going for the interview, you should have an inspiration. So she said, sir, tell me something about the services. You know, that 1.5 year, we explored knowing about the service. First years, please get to know the scope of civil services. It is so inspiring. It is so inspiring that nobody else can touch, move and inspire you the way these services can. So get to know them. First years, your drive will automatically come कि यार यही करना है no matter what. Get that? Not that I am saying this is the only career. Not that I am saying this is the only career, but if you have even an iota of this doubt, will this be the one for me? know the scope of the career. There are so many alumni from this college, multiple colleges. You will get those opportunity, meet them, know them. So first years, ice breaking. Second year students, have you been preparing for this examination for at least 1 year? How many of you have been looking at this exam? Okay, so very few, very few. So second year, yes, first year तो ऐसे bright eyed निकल गया, पता भी नहीं चला कब आया, कब चला जाता है. First year is really, like पहले तो I don't know अब ragging हो रही है नहीं हो रही. But Delhi University has got so many things to look at, coming out of school, हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले. True or not? So first year goes into that. Second year, now you're wondering, the pressure is there. So what we do? So if you did not read NCRTs, second year students, if you did not read NCRTs, the battle is still not lost. If you don't have the habit of reading newspapers, the battle is not yet lost. But now I would request you to make it a slightly more rigorous thing. Make it a ritual that I am going to do that. Yes? So I would suggest that if you people, second year students, especially who have been doing this, you should switch over to some reference books apart from NCRTs. Too many reference books will again eat into your college. Everyone, please get this thing from my side. My first priority is a good 3 years in the college. Do justice to your college, get good marks. Low score in the college, for whatever may be the reason, can become a big impediment to further other exams and careers also. There are so many deserving students. At times, because of some poor grades in the college, they are denied so many opportunities later on. So I am not looking at all to compromise the college. I am saying ye kahin nahi milega. Time and tide waits for none. So this time we must use tide. I have waited all across the world where my ships had gone, and I have seen what importance the tide carries. So second year students, if I may give you some reference books, some standard books, if you are following this examination, if you listen to the toppers, they talk about some author called Subhash Kashyap and his books on Indian Constitution, Indian Parliament. If you have not heard that, you would have heard a book by D.D. Basu or by Lakshmikant. Ek book padni, one book, just one book. This girl which I talked about, this BCom girl, she cleared in her first attempt. I want to tell you, she cleared in her first attempt. Her father gave me a call. He said, my daughter can't stop crying. She's just crying. She can't believe it that she's done that. So I am saying, very much possible. When she came after the exam, she said, एक book पकड़ी मैंने, एक book पकड़ के उसको अच्छे से किया, and I did not do anything else. राह पकड़ कर एक चला चल, पा जाएगा मधुशाला. That one book I am talking about, whichever you want, whichever. Somebody likes Subhash Kashyap, somebody likes D.D. Basu, somebody likes Lakshmikant. एक book enough है, सब same ही तो कर रहे हैं. So that's the text. Context आप create करेंगे. If you can create that, that job is done. Get that? Bipin Chandra, have you heard of this name on history students here? एक book पढ़ लीजिए कोई भी. India's freedom struggle, if you want, read that. I remember I used to work a lot for India Meteorological Department. India Meteorological Department, are you aware of that? ये जितना मौसम की खबर आती है, so the weather changes in India and even earthquake. Remember last week we had some earthquake. India Meteorological Department works on that. So I used to send them weather reports across Indian waters from the ships because they don't have those stations. No, I would send them. And they really appreciated my work because of those things. So they rewarded me. And what does India Meteorological Department does to me? They send me books. And one of them is a book on history by Bipin Chandra. So those books are very, very important. And for second year, first year वालों को नहीं चाहिए. Chill करिए कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Get that? Second year people, if you can pick up those two books, one on polity and one on history, things will start changing for you. I would want second year students to take one step beyond, start writing your views. First year students, speak, debate, remember? As a child, what does the child learns first? To speak or to write? Speak. First years, beginners, speak. Learn to speak your mind. Learn to articulate your view. 14th February, that skill will be tested. Get that? So you don't have to give UPSC, वो skill वहीं test हो जाएगी. No, sir, it is not about my speaking skill, it is about my courage that will be tested. Both are needed to clear this exam. Yes, so use that opportunity when it comes. So first years, learn to speak. Learn to speak. Second years, learn to write. Get that? So first year, if you miss the opportunity on the 14th February, you still have this opportunity in second year without facing him or her. Put a piece of paper. It should be so compelling. It should be so compelling, at least he or she should come and say no to you. If not, yes. Get? ऐसा तो है नहीं कि अब फर्स्ट ईयर की भूल जो है सेकेंड ईयर में पूरी होने वाली मे बी इट्स ऑलरेडी अ डेड मैटर फॉर यू बट लिखना आना चाहिए. सो सेकेंड ईयर इज अबाउट राइटिंग. सर व्हाट शुड आई राइट? इट्स एन अमेजिंग थिंग. स्टार्ट राइटिंग योर ब्लॉग. कॉलेज में एक्टिविटीज़ है ब्लॉग राइटिंग्स नहीं है तो आप शुरू कर दीजिए. When they ask students, no, what are your hobbies? You want to become a civil servant, and the students don't have hobbies. They come to me, sir, क्या hobby लूँ? Sir, एक movie, watching movies. Sir, ये लिख सकते? I said, yeah, this is amazing. So, do you watch movies? No, sir. Then why are you saying that? Sir, before the interview, no, I'll go and watch a movie. No, I'll watch Gandhi. So they'll ask me, what did you like about that movie Gandhi? I'll tell them. I'll impress them. I said, well, you can definitely select a hobby, but you cannot select the questions they will ask. What if they ask what was dirty in the dirty picture? True or not? तो तब गांधी का क्या करोगे? सर मैं तो ये सब देखता ही नहीं, सर मैं तो गांधी देख कर आया हूँ. The funny thing was there was nothing dirty in the dirty picture. So they will say, तो हम कौन सा कुछ बुरी बात बोल रहे हैं? We just want you to think. So I'm saying that part, that aspect of being able to speak out is important, and that hobby should come. So start writing. Start writing whatever is there. Don't think about words. When my son writes, no, he says, recently he wrote something and he said, Dad, I got 7 out of 8. And the person who got 8 out of 8, she wrote 1,000 words and I wrote only 700. I said, no, it's not about the words, the numbers. It's about what you wrote. That got her 8 out of 8, not because you wrote less. So I hope second years, do we understand it is not about the more you write, it's about your writing getting that impact. And think about those unfortunate students who come to us after their graduation and post-graduation and tell us, sir, I've never read anything, I just cleared the exams and writing is my weakness. I'm saying you are in such an amazing position right now that you can start working on that in these 2 years. Effortlessly, kitna manga? 3 घंटा. 3 hours, can we do that? So 3 hours लिखना है? No. लिखना तो half an hour. Maybe whatever you read. And suppose you did not read anything. College में भी तो लिखेंगे ना, बहुत सारी चीज़ें लिखेंगे. True? Get into that. Your teachers are going to give you grades. Yes or no? Demand good grades. Sir, how can I demand? You reach out to your teachers. Yes or no? And there are colleges where, like the student teachers are nowhere there. College भी खाली student भी नहीं, teacher भी नहीं. These are amazing colleges. You find your teachers always with you. You are there in the college. That's an amazing thing. I remember, like one day at St. Stephen's, we decided to bunk. It was a chemistry class early in the morning. Sardi ho rahi hai. We all decided to bunk. The teacher found us out. And he said, why did you decide to bunk the class? Sir, it's too cold. The NCLT, the lecture theatre is too cold, sir. It's very cold over there. So he said, you should have told me. We could have taken a class in the lawns. Arey yaar. Ab how can I tell him, like we slept late at night, it was party and all those things. That's why we bunked. So what I am trying to say here is, we have all the teachers supporting us. Yes or no? Reach out to your teachers. Reach out to your teachers, sir, this is the work I have done. And with their tremendous amount of experience, we can really take that. Second years, aligned? Yes? So, before I finish, there might be, some people from the first year and second year who have questions right on this. Do you have any questions? Anyone? Yes? Can we pass on the mic to them? Then I'll come to the third year also.
Good morning, sir. I am Shil from Panipat, pursuing BA Philosophy Honors. And I want to ask that I am from humanities background as I have studied in NCRTs from a 6 to 12 classes, in fact, history, politics. So, what is the new approach for UPSC we have to follow? Should we analyze the UPSC question paper before studying NCRTs?
Perfect. Thanks for the question. So he says that he is from philosophy and he has done the NCRTs and he wants to know what should be the new approach for civil service. So I would say there is no new approach. There is an approach. So can we stick to that? So I'm glad that you've taken the first step. You've taken the first step. आपने NCRT पढ़ लिया. Second step. How about your writing? Are you writing something?
I'm thinking to start writing editorials.
ठीक है. To start writing?
Editorials
Where would you write?
on a rough sheet.
Achha, you want to write the summary of the editorial. I was wondering, how come without being an editor you write an editorial? That's okay. I get that. So amazing. So don't start with editorial. I'm saying don't start with editorial. You can start with writing on what you have read, say for the NCRT also. You are a philosophy student? Yes, write on that. So that's one thing. So the second step is you should be writing, and definitely, as you said, sir, PYQs ka kya karo? So areas which have been covered in your curriculum, areas which you have covered, you should definitely look at the PYQs. This is something which I am reserving for the third years. Because I also believe that, like when you join the college in the first year, your orientation of what you want to do changes. Second year it changes, and third year also it changes. So by third year it is crystallized what is there. So I'm glad that you know about PYQs, and PYQs will direct you. I would reserve them for the third year. So once you are done with some writing practice based on your NCRTs and some reference books which I talked about, I just talked about two of them just to give you an example, Lakshmikant and Bipin Chandra. When you're done with that, please do that. That will really help you. Yes. Who else? Please. They'll bring the mic to you.
Sir, I was about to ask which approach we should have for geography options.
Okay. Same approach. Absolutely same approach. Are you having a background in geography? Are you doing graduation in geography?
No, sir.
Perfect. So thank you. So geography optional, or for that matter any optional. Can I give you in general for any optional? If you are lucky to have an optional which has NCRTs, say for example, history, polity, economy, yes, anthropology, psychology, geography, they have their NCRTs, that should be the first step. Get that? Second step is we need to have those expert books. So if you are looking at geography optional, you would require expert books. Since I am at this platform, I can talk about that. One is Physical Geography by Savindra Singh and Indian Geography by Khullar. So in your college, if you are able to do this, I think that's good enough. Add to it PYQs. Optional will take some strategy. Maybe this is not the platform for that, but since I have come from an academy, there are many sessions which are there where you can get the in-depth knowledge on that. Any other question? First and second year only. Third year students, I'll take your questions later on.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Hansraj Singh.
Yes, Adarsh, please.
Why old edition of NCRT is more recommended?
Okay, please sit down. Thank you. So everyone, especially for people who are new to this examination, people who are in this examination, especially this area, the campus area, Mukherjee Nagar area, old Rajendra Nagar area, a story goes that old NCRT is good, new NCRT is not that good, and all those stories. So first of all, let me clarify what is an old NCRT, what is a new NCRT, and I want everyone sitting here not to get into this debate. This is an absolutely futile debate, and let me clarify on that. So in the 1970s, a board was writing the book, yes, and that was writing. So 1970s or 80s mein jo NCRT likhi gayi, those are called old NCRTs. I had the privilege of being a student of Professor Qureshi at JNU. He was heading that geography book team over there. So that was 1970s and 80s. Then a set of book was written in NCRT in a revised curriculum that was in 2004 to 2006. Yeah, that? Those are called new NCRTs. When are we talking? 2022. Don't you think even that 2004 is outdated now? I want to tell you 2022 they are still talking about the census of 2001. Get that? So first of all, don't get into this debate of old NCERT, new NCERT. New NCERTs are good for you. That's one thing. Second thing, since you asked me this question, sir, what is the difference between them? So difference is, I want to tell you that the education system which your parents got and the education system which you are getting are two different things. Yes or no? Today you will find that things are more audio visual. True, they do not pay too much attention on the language, but they are more on depiction. You will find that the new NCERT is more on diagrams, more on caricatures, cartoons, and everything is there illustrated. So if you are looking for a very good sample of language, एक बढ़िया language जिसको पढ़ के you are inspired, you really feel that this is the level of language, old NCERTs have that quality. The education which your parents were getting, the focus, if you ask your parents, the focus would be on grammatically correct language, good vocabulary, proper sentence construction. Yes or no? Now we are on WhatsApp. Now we operate more on symbols. So that ways the new NCERT may not be the best of the specimens of language. But tell me, a subject which is just being given to us theoretically, without its practical examples and illustrations, understanding it is difficult or not? So NCERT has made it more interactive now. So that is the difference. I would say use the new NCERT as it is, they are old enough. Get that? So I hope that settles the debate. Yes, please, someone, the lady over there. एक last question ले रहा हूँ, then I'll come to this thing.
Good morning sir.
Yes, please.
सर मैं पीजी सेकेंड ईयर का हिंदी लिटरेचर का स्टूडेंट हूँ
जी.
और मैंने लास्ट ईयर्स में फर्स्ट ईयर मैंने प्रिपरेशन भी शुरू कर दिया
जी.
और अभी नेट जेआरएफ का रिजल्ट आया जिसमें मैं जेआरएफ के लिए सिलेक्टेड हो चुका हूँ.
बहुत अच्छी
सर क्या मुझे किसी कॉलेज में पीएचडी के लिए इनरोल हो जाना चाहिए या फिर प्रिपरेशन को रन करना चाहिए, क्योंकि फिर ये होता है सर इनरोल होने के बाद फिर एकेडमी के साथ साथ तैयारी करना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. तो इसके लिए क्या आपका मेरा पर्सनल मतलब मेरे लिए क्या आपका पर्सनल सजेशन रहेगा और मैं क्या करूँ?
आप हिंदी साहित्य को अपना वैकल्पिक विषय रखेंगे? ठीक है, अच्छी बात. So thank you. Please sit down. So his question is for people who don't understand Hindi. It's कि should I continue with my optional or with my UPSC preparation along with my NET JRF के बाद मैं इसमें post graduation में admission लूँ या ना लूँ? You लेने के लिए perfectly okay. So can I share a story for myself? Yes. So मैं जब भी परीक्षा की तैयारी कर रहा था तो मुझे लगा कि भूगोल में मुझे और पढ़ना चाहिए, तो मैंने JNU में स्नातकोत्तर के लिए दाखिला ले लिया. आई डिसाइडेड टू गो फॉर MA इन ज्योग्राफी एंड दैट वाज सच अ ग्रूलिंग प्रोग्राम, इतना डिमांडिंग प्रोग्राम है दैट इट स्टार्टेड कमिंग इन द वे ऑफ माय सिविल सर्विसेज प्रिपरेशन. तो जहाँ भी आप PhD करना चाहते हैं, आपके कोई भी गाइड होंगे तो वो आपको इतना ईजिली अलाउ नहीं करेंगे. गेट दैट? और ये जो दिमाग में रहता है कि आई मस्ट डू समथिंग. सो आई हैड इमेजिन आई क्लियर्ड माई प्रीलिम्स एंड देन आई वाज अबाउट टू गो टू मेंस एंड JNU में वी वर आस्क्ड दैट देयर इज अ फील्ड ट्रिप टू अरुणाचल प्रदेश. वी हैव टू गो एंड एनालाइज द रॉक्स इन अरुणाचल प्रदेश. वी हैव टू बी देयर एंड आई हैव टू गिव मेन एग्जामिनेशन ऑल्सो. सो प्रॉब्लम यस और नो? या तो फील्ड ट्रिप छोड़ो, फील्ड ट्रिप छोड़ोगे तो आपका सेमेस्टर काउंट नहीं होगा, या मेंस छोड़ो, क्या छोड़ा जाएगा? यस. So that's the challenge. So हर जगह पे अलग अलग होता है, तो you need to get this clear with this. और ये क्यों हम रखना चाहते हैं दो? Why do we want to keep it 2? वो जो दूसरी ब्रेन है ना, अगर फेल हुए तो यस, पाकिस्तान से तो तभी खेलेंगे जब इंग्लैंड से जीतेंगे. कुछ डाउट रहता है. We were always in that doubt, and as I said, that doubt costed me 7 years. That doubt costed me 7 years because that brain is right now telling us कि यार ये भी तो बहुत सारी अच्छी चीज़ें अवेलेबल है, क्यों बुरा तो नहीं करूँगा. That will come after some time. आज न्यूज़पेपर नहीं पढ़ते, it will call for you, and I am serious about that. Today's newspaper, Hindu newspaper, says growing cases of substance abuse in Kerala. There is so much of substance abuse happening in the schools, be it states जहाँ पे आज Kerala was in news, Punjab has been in news so many times. So there will be such things also coming to us. That is what I am saying, keeping our sanity in that. तो आपका मन करेगा सर JRF भी हो गया, मैं PhD कर लेता हूँ. Can it wait? JRF तो आपके साथ ही, PhD वेट कर सकती है कि नहीं? और PhD भी ओरिजिनल क्यों नहीं करें? True or not? Everyone? a group of 3 people decided to do a PhD. Yes? Do you know what they ended up in getting apart from PhD? They got a Nobel Prize for finding the solution for why ozone is getting depleted. तो यार PhD करनी है तो मजबूत वाली करेंगे, हिंदी साहित्य को बिल्कुल मतलब उस हद तक ले जाएंगे कि पराकाष्ठा तक जाए. तो ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. इधर PhD चल रही है, इधर नेट प्रैक्टिस भी है, इधर पाकिस्तान का बॉलर भी है, टेंशन है सब तरह से. लेट्स क्लियर ऑन दैट. So thank you for the questions. I'll come again for the next round. So for third year students, your grades are there and you are seeing many people deciding to go for MBAs also. How many of you are looking at MBA as a career? MBA में भी कुछ plan है? Yes? Some people? Okay. So there will be multiple things coming in front of you by third year. First thing which I would want is, are you clear about civil services? First and second year, you are investing in that. Third year, you must be clear, there is no doubt about that. Get that? Third year, I am also inviting you to start attending a few classes. What is classes? What do I mean by classes? These classes are some classes which will channelize your energy, which is right now going at 360 degrees. Yes or no? 360 degrees. Sir, that will take some investment of money and time. I would say don't invest money because there is a lot of free online classes available. Yes or no? Unacademy is one source. You have the top educator there. Free classes, you can very well do that. Identify a subject. Don't go into all subjects. Third year students, identify a subject, identify who's your educator over there. We also have a scholarship program happening which allows access to almost free access for the whole course. So I am saying third year is the time you can put yourself to the test. You can put yourself to those scholarship exams and everything. First year, second year, no need. Absolutely no need. Third year students, you can do that. Try the subject of your choice. Now many people raised hands for science. I want to tell you that civil services examination is more biased or weighing more towards humanities, social sciences. Pure sciences come aayega. So the science students who are listening to me, somebody said, sir, I am doing physics. I would say that you should take up, say, maybe get initiated into polity by a teacher. Economics is one challenging area which you should be looking at. So my advice is that here you can look for some mentoring and not for the whole syllabus but for a couple of subjects. Now what is specific for third year is, everyone, by third year I do expect a level of maturity. Can we start handling government documents? Say for example an economic survey. Economic survey becomes an important document for us. If we are in the third year, we understand a lot about that. Right now the world is grappling with the issue of climate change at Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt, COP27. These are the things you must be looking at. So you must be started to explore certain things on the websites, on the Government of India websites, on those documents, and you should be trying to extract that. Third year people, I am looking for you to start looking at some case studies and examples. Get that? So you would have done your NCRTs and some reference book, that's it, and do your third year very well. Don't let anything go down on that, and I'm very, very sure that all the committee members who are organizing this, third year is a great opportunity to take these leadership positions, yes or no? So, the organizing committee which I have, this whole thing, is it being organized by the second and the third years? Yes. So this is a great opportunity to take those organizational skills. Don't miss those opportunities. You will not get them anywhere else. So third year is about that. Third year is about more analytical. You can look at those government documents and you can look at other things also on that. Do we get that? And again saying there are two brains. They will come in the way. They will challenge us and we will be stuck. So were we able to do that? I was able to do that. I practiced. In the morning I somehow practiced. So third years, this is there. I would want you to ask your questions now. And now the third years can also participate if you have questions. Yes, please. Especially anyone from third years? Third years, if anyone from third year looking for a question there. Yes, keep your hands raised high enough.
Yes, please.
Hello, sir. I'm currently in second year.
Okay.
I wanted to ask, I've already started my preparation and it has been 5 years already. So I'm not yet decided my optional yet, but I have shorted down to two optionals. That is my graduation subject, that is chemistry, and one subject is sociology. But in third year, my course is quite hectic.
Yes.
It's full of labs. It's quite new theories like quantum mechanics and all. But I'm not sure should I start sociology or chemistry as my optional, because I have to start a whole new subject of sociology and took it to another level because it's an optional. And I'm comfortable with chemistry, but I'm not so sure. So this is my dilemma about it. So should I opt for sociology or chemistry based on my
Okay. Okay. Thank you. How many of you are in the dilemma of which optional to select? Yes, that's a dilemma. Perfect. So that's a majority dilemma. Why did I go for a hand raise? Was that so that you can see that almost everyone is in the same boat. Hear that? So, what should go in our mind when we select an optional? I would say optional is like, you know what a life partner is. So optional is like your exam partner. But before you finalize that alliance, there are multiple alliances जो दिख रहे होते हैं. Yes or no? Katrina bhi, Deepika bhi, and as if you think that they are available for you, but that thought comes no. So sociology bhi hai, pub-ed bhi hai, philosophy bhi hai, chemistry bhi hai. They all have their own set of challenges. Okay that? So first thing is how much do you enjoy chemistry? Chemistry I know third year lab में ही बीतेगा. College में देख पाएंगे नहीं देख पाएंगे, that's a different thing. So I know it's a demanding course when we are talking about the third years on that. So I want to tell you, again can I give a story? Yes, these stories help us clear things more. So there was this boy, he came to me, he was from IIT and he said, sir, I want to select my optional. And I gave Indian Engineering Services. I am a civil engineer and I got rank 2 in that. I am already UPSC qualified IES. I want to select an optional. I said, why do you have to select an optional? Your optional is civil engineering. And you've proved it to UPSC. What else do you want? Indian Engineering Service, no small exam, yes or no? All India rank 2 in the civil branch. So then he said, sir, I have an issue with civil engineering. Number one, that the civil engineering syllabus is not as scoring as it is in engineering services as it is in civil services. So the scoring of both the exams is different. So it is not very scoring. Is it a valid research? Yes or no? He has done his homework or not? So first thing is done his homework. So he says it is, the topics are not that scoring, sir. So I know it is not scoring. Second thing, sir, between prelims and mains examination, very little time is there. When I am preparing for civil engineering, at that time I will not be preparing for general studies. So people who are new to civil services examination, there is general studies and optional. General studies, you should have general awareness of history, polity, geography, science, economy and all those things. So he said, why not choose an optional which overlaps with GS? So he was considering history and geography, two optional. So everyone, did the student take the responsibility of why I am changing the optional? Yes or no? A person who has already proved it, he's already proved the civil services, civil engineering metal, and he's very clear that I'm changing it for these reasons. So everyone, you do not select or reject an optional because Sachin Arora or somebody else told you. You select and reject because you know your strength, you know your weakness. Get that? So chemistry has its advantages, chemistry has its disadvantages also. Let's be very clear, chemistry syllabus is huge, massive. Yes, you look at the PYQs and when you are preparing for PYQs or chemistry, you will not be preparing for GS. So the story continues, this boy takes history as an optional and he writes the examination and he does not clear. He does not clear the exam. So person who has already cleared engineering service, he now does not clear. He comes to me and he says, sir, how can I improve my GS further? I said, what about your optional? He said, optional, though I have taken history. I said, don't you think you should reconsider after the failure? He said, no, not at all. I am very clear. History is my optional. I am not even having any doubt about civil engineering. I want to score high in GS. Last time my score was less. That boy scored one of the highest score in the GS in the year to come, and is an IPS officer in Jharkhand right now. Very few people come to me with this conviction that this is my optional. That brain keeps on telling us, no, maybe इसमें marks नहीं आ रहे, छोड़ दो. Psychology is doing better. This is doing bad. This is not doing well. He was very clear. करना है और मुझे पास भी करना है. I think after clearing his engineering services, he served as an engineer for 2 years with Government of India, and then he got into this. So that's what I'm saying. Most of you said you were very clear. I'm saying in my first year, I did not have that courage and conviction about what I was doing. I always had things that what if this doesn't work, let me keep a backup. I'm saying that these are the people who burn the bridges behind them. Somebody, I don't know, you asked for that psychology question. So she asked a question that psychology is a good optional and it's not giving marks these days. So psychology is an amazing subject, really amazing subject. I know only the psychology students know how amazing it is. I want to tell you that when you get your scorecard, even in school days, what were you getting? Marks rewarded or marks obtained? Marks rewarded or marks obtained? Obtained. So you obtain the marks. He is not distributing them. True or not? So no optional is getting less marks or high marks. It is you obtain it. So psychology optional people are not raising it to the level that they are not able to obtain it. I have seen people with medical science. I have heard, medical science doesn't give marks. Medical science के toppers निकलते हैं, economics के toppers निकलते हैं. I had this student. She happened to be from the same college. So when they come from the same college, St. Stephen's, like you had alumni, Keshri sir. So she was from the same college and she said, sir, I want to prepare and economics is my optional. So she had done economics honors at St. Stephen's College and she took economics. First attempt, she got some extended list. So people who do not know, so there are, say for example, 800 seats. So UPSC will announce result for 800 and 10-15 students are given as extended merit list. You might be incorporated. So first attempt, she got that. Second attempt, she wrote the exam again and this time she got All India rank 150. She became an IPS officer. Third time she wrote again and she got All India rank 11 and she's an IAS officer in Rajasthan. I'm saying same optional, she did not change it. Once I asked her that there are some students who are considering economics as an optional, what would you recommend? She said, sir, I did from the college. Then I became a teacher for economics in Delhi University. And I was having access to all the material in the library. Certain subjects, no optional subjects, access to material is not easy. Economics is one of them. So as you talked about chemistry, I'm keeping that in mind. Psychology, lot of material is available. Sociology, public administration, geography, history. When we are talking about these popular optionals, lot of study material is easily available. But when you are talking about, say, physics, maths, then you have a few areas where you can get those material. They may suit you, may not suit you. So those criteria must be kept in mind, but that can happen. What was interesting with this girl was, she gave the interview 3 times. She gave the interview 3 times and out of 300, she always got 220 plus. Imagine people have formula even to get high marks in interview, and I would attribute her to her personality. And where can you get your personality? Can anyone answer? Where can you nurture it? Right here in the college. So if I ever tell you that forget your college days, get into studies, I'll be doing the biggest injustice. You won't get this opportunity anywhere. Do not shy away from anything. Do not shy away from anything and trust your teachers, seek help. This seminar is there. I'm so glad that the society is doing that. I'm saying seek help. 3rd years. We have our UCS scholarship coming, Unacademy. What date is it coming? 13th November. 13th November, you can write that test examination and there will be a lot lot of things, even the second years can do that, but I'm saying third years, you are right in that position, give that examination and have access to all the classes. So that's what I'm saying, but what is needed is your conviction, and do people with girlfriends pass this exam? Yes or no? कौन? अच्छा, आपके पास एक ही एग्जाम्पल है. It's been 16 years, yes or no? I have seen people missing an exam, UPSC main examination because of hangover, and next year making it to the top ranks. So I'm saying there is nothing bad. There is nothing bad with any of the preparation style. You should have the conviction. So at the end, your questions. Yes, please.
Myself, Sushil Gurjar, currently I am BA program first year. तो पहले तो सर हम बहुत मोटिवेट होकर इसकी शुरुआत कर देते हैं. 10 दिन तक इतने मोटिवेट रहेंगे, खूब मेहनत करेंगे, पर धीरे धीरे ये बहुत बिल्कुल लो हो जाते हैं, मोटिवेशन फुल डाउन हो जाता है. तो क्या करें ऐसे जो मोटिवेशन लगातार बना रहे, अपना लगातार तैयारी करते रहें.
So as long as the motivation, thank you, you may sit down, and others if you have a question you can raise your hand so that he knows where to go. Okay. So his question is, sir, motivation में सब कुछ हो जाता है और उसके बाद motivation चली जाती है. True or not? I think this sounds, motivation is like alcohol. जब तक होता है तब तक एकदम शानदार लगता है, and when it goes. So I would say there are two kinds of motivation. One is externally coming. You saw an IAS officer, you saw someone telling you certain case studies. Okay, मेरा भी हो सकता है. That's coming externally. How long do you think I'll be telling you stories? I have so many of them. Yes? And there is one story which you want to write. There is one story which you want to write. So वो motivation, internal motivation होता है, उसे कैसे किया जाता है? पहली चीज़ मैंने आपको बताई, habit. We are slaves of our habit. ऐसा नहीं है कि सिगरेट के बिना स्मोकर रह नहीं सकता, but he is habituated to it. Yes or no? It becomes a habit. Can we make this preparation, certain things as a part of our habit? जैसा आपने पहला मैंने कहा, न्यूज़पेपर को अपना हैबिट बना लीजिए. No problem if you were not motivated to read NCERT, but can newspaper be an integral part of this? Can discussion and debate be an integral part of it? आप देखेंगे, only this quality will make you happen. What Keshri sir said, that in my attempt I was not even prepared, I scored 300. वो एक skill जो आप develop कर रहे हैं, that's going to make a huge difference. Number one. Second thing is, there are certain things which we could not avoid because the date of the board examination for 10th and 12th was fixed. Yes or no? देना ही पड़ा. Yes? Because of COVID, many dates were shifted. So बहुत लोग disorient हुए. Can you give yourself a schedule of tests every 2 months? First year people, every 2 months test. Second year people and third year people, every 1 month test. रख सकते हैं? कोई yardstick नहीं है ना? There is no yardstick of how I am performing. Nobody is looking at it. और मैं सच में बताऊं, everyone wants to be a civil servant, but किसी को बताना नहीं चाहता है. We keep it hidden because then what happens? Expectations हो जाते हैं. Cricket captain, when he is after winning the match or losing the match, you heard the Pakistan captain saying, Allah Ta'ala ने जिता दिया, boys did well. Nobody ever says, हमें पता था जीतेंगे. क्यों? Because next time if you lose, you know what happens in Pakistan. True? So that's what I'm saying. थोड़ा खड़ा होकर इस ऑडिटोरियम के सामने एक बार बोलो, मुझे ये करना ही करना है. And you will find that whenever you walking on the corridors, ऐसा लगेगा everyone is looking at you. हाँ भाई हुआ कि नहीं? True or not? So I don't want to do that, but I'm saying declare it to the people you know. आप बता सकते हैं आसपास लोगों को, यार ये मेरा लक्ष्य है, ये मेरा ध्येय है, ये मुझे करना ही करना है. No matter what, इधर उधर भटकता दिखूं तो याद दिला देना, मैं बुरा नहीं मानूंगा. चलेगा? Because they are your friends. They are your friends. और एक टेस्ट रख लो. कहाँ से रखना है? फ्री टेस्ट मैंने आपको बताया बहुत सारे अवेलेबल है, अनअकैडमी पे भी अवेलेबल है, ले लीजिए. दैट विल रियली हेल्प यू. बट जब तक बाहर से सुनेंगे तो एकदम से जोश बढ़ेगा, जो स्टॉक हुई उसके बाद होश. सो लेट्स मिक्स दैट एंड थिंग्स विल हैपन. यस, नेक्स्ट किसके पास है? कैन यू?
Yes, so like if someone is pursuing for 4-degree course, then what to do in 4th year, and also book list for philosophy optional.
Okay. Yeah, please sit down. So I am sorry, I still belong to that old world जहाँ third year के बाद खत्म हो जाता है मामला. So there are some people with the fourth year. So third year and fourth year remains the same. So please do not make that distinction between them क्योंकि आपको बहुत सारे analytical case studies वो करते रहना चाहिए. Fourth year अगर आपके पास है तो I have a very strong advice. जैसा किसी ने पूछा था अभी सर PYQs कर सकते हैं कि नहीं? You should do a lot of PYQs. PYQs करना शुरू करिए. कुछ टीचर्स के संपर्क में आ सकते हैं आप, उनको इवेल्युएट ज़रूर करवाइए. सो फोर्थ ईयर, यस, टाइम फॉर PYQs एंड मोर कन्विक्शन ऑन दैट. यस, हु एल्स? प्लीज रेज योर हैंड्स सो दैट द पर्सन विद द माइक कैन मूव टू यू. माइक किसके पास पहुंचा है?
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, my name is Suprabhat Singh. I am student of BA Honors Hindi, first year. Sir, I want to ask about the notes of geography, how to prepare, because when I read the books of NCERT, I feel that all lines are important and what I can do in the notes later.
So thank you for the question. Question is, how do we make notes? I am in the first year, sir, Hindi, and how do I make notes of NCERT? Whenever I am reading NCERT, मुझे तो सब important ही लगता है. ऐसा लग रहा है कि मतलब you're describing your lover. सब अच्छा ही लगता है सर. Yes, तो NCERT की बुक में सब important लगता है. And I want to tell you that people who begin this preparation, if you give them a marker to underline NCERT, they will underline everything except the page number. Because that's what they feel that it is important, and I also used to feel that way. Now, I have found a solution to that. मेरे पास solution है. Are you interested in that? So how many of you feel कि ऐसा लगता है कि बुक सारी important है? लगता है ना ऐसा? और बहुत सारा हम underline कर देते. First rule is never underline anything more than 15%. If you are having anything underlined more than 15%, that's a problem. Second is, why are you underlining? Why are you underlining? Because you want something that is important. Okay. So how many of you read those childhood magazines, Champak, Chanda Mama, those things? Yes, you read that? Some of you? Yes or no? Were they fun? All those storybooks, childhood storybook, Panchtantra and all. My son is in the same age. My son is in the same age and he wants to read those books. Does any of you have those books underlined? Your Chanda Mama or Panchtantra underlined or notes of that? Anyone? Would it be wise to give him those notes? Would it be wise to give him the notes of Chanda Mama? No. So NCERT, everyone, rule is, please do not underline in the first reading. Is it okay? Can we keep that? I am not against the idea of underlining and highlighting. Problem is, as a beginner, we might end up underlining everything. First reading of NCERT. NCERT is an easy book, at least up to 10th standard. Do not underline in the first reading. Yes? Second reading में underline करेंगे, you will see for yourself, magic will happen. And if you are underlining more, then the rule is how much percent? 15%. Now do not measure it geometrically. Yes or no? Approximately 15%. So that was it. Thanks a lot. We have other speaker coming in. I hope I created value. And I hope you will listen to both the brains. One brain which wants things to happen quickly, the other brain which is willing to wait. Bring a balance in them. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure talking to all you.
I appreciate your nice and generous guidance very much, sir. I have no doubt that this collection of knowledge and inspiration will overwhelm all the aspiring individuals present here. Only with the ongoing assistance of knowledgeable personalities like you, sir, are events like these for our aspirants feasible. Thank you for making this session enlightening and beneficial.
Now, I would like to request President of Nisha, Akshay, to felicitate our chief guest with a memento and a award. Now I request President Mr. Akshar Vadoria to please come forward and offer his vote of gratitude.
Good afternoon, everyone. So, with immense ecstasy and delight, I would like to take this opportunity to express my profound gratitude as a token of appreciation and thanks to the Chief Speaker, Mr. Sachin Arora, sir, for taking out time from his busy schedule to grace the juncture. Thank you so much, sir, for comprehensively covering each and every bit of this topic and also proffering them with the crux of UPSC CSE. Thank you so much for that, sir. Again, I would like to express my gratitude to our esteemed principal, Professor Dr. Rama ma'am, and our convener, Dr. Mahendra Prajapati sir, for their support and for their valuable support towards the society. And they have always associated themselves with the activity of the society, and it's because of their support, like we are just trying to do our best. Thank you. And again, thank you so much everyone for joining. So this was the second episode. Our third episode and our third guest speaker, Dr. Kiran Bedi ma'am, would be arriving shortly, and then we would be just starting with the third and the last segment of today's speaker session. Thank you so much.
The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Robert Frost has manifested imagery of the trails of one's path to ace the zenith of success. No matter how dark and deep the travails are, no matter how sober one feels en route to success, one must not forget the accountability one possesses and should ensure the way forward.
It is seldom that we encounter a personality who has left no stones unturned to explore and strive for the greater good of the society. The one who traverses to shed light on the periphery of different social and academic arenas, and the one who embraces their accountability and responsibility towards changing the course of society.
Good afternoon. We at NISTA are at the helm of privilege and delectation as we proudly announce Dr. Kiran Bedi, an epitome of versatility and academic acumen, as the third speaker of our flagship event, Ekansh 22, which is an assortment of games, competitions, prodigious speaker sessions, and workshops wherein we intend to tap the hidden qualities and talent of our fervent aspirants.
Dr. Kiran Bedi, the first woman to have joined the officer ranks of the Indian Police Service, was the 24th Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry and has served the United Nations as civilian police advisors in peacekeeping operations. She did a master's in political science from Punjab University and obtained a PhD from IIT Delhi with a postdoctoral Nehru Fellowship. She is the author of several books, latest being Fearless Governance, which is based on ground realities she observed while serving as Lieutenant Governor of Puducherry. While releasing the book, Ms. Indra Noy, a prominent businesswoman and Professor Devashish Chatterjee, Director of IIM Calicut, called it Blueprint for Good Governance, cutting across leadership qualities, both private and public sectors.
Dr. Bedi. Dr. Bedi is an Asian tennis champion and winner of the Gallantry Award and Asia's Nobel Prize Raman Magsaysay Award. She is not only a notable public figure but also a familiar face in popular culture. Yes, Madam Sir is a biopic made by Megan Donman, an Australian filmmaker, on Dr. Kiran Bedi's life and career. She has established two foundations, Navjyoti and India Vision Foundation, which have been serving the underprivileged in several parts of India. She has incessantly worked to reform Indian prison for the last 30 years and has been repeatedly voted as the most admired and trusted woman in India by Reader's Digest magazine. I, Nihala, the editorial head,
and I, Ankit, PR and sponsorship head of Civil Service Society, Nishtha, immensely elated to welcome you, ma'am, to this platform of analytical and coherent discourse.
The Indian bureaucracy has taken many trajectories and has come a long way to be an institution that champions strengthening cohesion, integrity, and national unity. The way forward for this sanctity has facets associated with itself. So, let's hear the perspective of the first woman Indian Police Service officer about the next 25 years of Indian bureaucracy. I invite ma'am to address the gathering. Ma'am, the platform is yours.
मेरे पास आपके लिए एक प्रेजेंटेशन भी है और मेरे पास आपके साथ बात करने के लिए एक फीलिंग भी है। दोनों चीज़ें हैं। क्या करूं? उसके लिए टाइम लगेगा, लेकिन अगर मैं प्रेजेंटेशन छोड़ दूं, आप बाद में देख लेना। ये भी है पॉसिबिलिटी। पहले मैं आपको अपनी दिल की बात बोलूँगी, फिर मैं प्रेजेंटेशन छोड़ भी सकती हूँ, दिखा भी सकती हूँ। ये वो प्रेजेंटेशन है जो मैंने आईएएस ऑफिसर्स और आईपी ऑल इंडिया सिविल सर्विसेज मसूरी में एक लेक्चर दिया था 2 साल पहले। सभी ऑफिसर्स का इंडक्शन था और जब मुझे लाल बहादुर शास्त्री भी बुलाया गया तो मैंने उनको क्या बोला, वो है प्रेजेंटेशन। और तो वो मैं आपको दिखा सकती हूँ, लेकिन मैं अपनी दिल की बात पहले बताना चाहती हूँ। और ये मेरी दिल की बात मेरे एक्सपीरियंस से है जब मैंने 5 साल पौंडीचेरी में लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर का काम किया। उससे पहले तो मैं आईपीएस ऑफिसर का काम करती रही। कभी ट्रैफिक असाइनमेंट हुई, कभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट पुलिस हुई, कभी प्रिजन का हुआ काम, कभी और ऐसे काम, नारकोटिक्स कंट्रोल ब्यूरो, जो मेरे पुलिसिंग के मिले। लेकिन उस वक्त मेरा पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट ही था लेकिन मैं बाकी ब्यूरोक्रेट्स के साथ डील करती रही, जो सेक्रेटरीज होते हैं सेक्रेटेरिएट में। मैं सेक्रेटेरिएट में नहीं थी, मैंने स्पेशल सेक्रेटरी लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर के साथ, तजिंदर खन्ना साहब के साथ भी काम किया, लेकिन मैंने सेक्रेटेरिएट में काम नहीं किया था, मैंने फील्ड में काम किया था। लेकिन जब मैं लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर पुडुचेरी बनी तब मेरे पास सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स थे और तब मैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर थी। आपको मालूम है कि लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर और गवर्नर में क्या फ़र्क है? दोनों में मालूम है? अगर मालूम है तो मैं नहीं भी मालूम तो मैं, अगर मालूम भी है तो मैं आपको बताना चाहती हूँ। तकरीबन मालूम नहीं होता है। जैसे पुलिस कमिश्नर और आईजी की क्यों कमिश्नर कहते हैं, क्यों आईजी कहते हैं, ये भी फ़र्क कईयों को नहीं मालूम होता है। तो लेकिन ये ऐसी चीज़ों का मालूम ज़रूर आपको होना चाहिए जब आप यूपीएससी के एग्जामिनेशन की तैयारी कर रहे हो। लेकिन जब मैं लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर बनी, ये मेरा मन करा इस वक्त आपको देख के ये कहानी बताने के लिए कि जिस चीज़ की आप तैयारी कर रहे हैं होता क्या है। ये मैंने बहुत करीब से देखा। तो 5 साल जब मैं लेफ्टिनेंट वो जब बन के गई तो सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स थे, सारे ऑफिसर्स थे, सेक्रेटेरिएट के आईएएस ऑफिसर्स भी थे, आईपीएस ऑफिसर भी थे, डीजीपी थे, डीआईजी भी थे, सारे थे, दे वर ऑल देयर। So all of them, all India civil services were all present there. And now I was in charge of all these administrators. और मैंने क्या देखा? मैंने देखा एक बैंकक्रप्ट यूनियन टेरिटरी, बैंकक्रप्ट। ऑफिसर से तो भरी हुई थी, हर एक डिपार्टमेंट का आईएएस ऑफिसर था, डीजीपी भी थी। लैंड ग्रैबिंग हो रही है, यू हैव द आईपीएस, डीजीपी है। लोगों के घर खाली करवा रहे हैं, पुलिस भी है। फाइनेंशियल करप्शन है तो आईएएस भी है। सो कोई डिपार्टमेंट नहीं मैंने देखा जो कि हेल्दी डिपार्टमेंट था। मुझे पता है आप मेरी रिकॉर्डिंग कर रहे हैं, मुझे पता है मैं जो बोल रही हूँ ये पब्लिक स्टेटमेंट है, लेकिन मैं हकीकत बोल रही हूँ, क्योंकि ये हकीकत मैंने अपनी लेटेस्ट बुक में लिखा है, फेयरलेस गवर्नेंस। इस बुक में लिखा है। ये एक आई ओपनर है कि हम ऑल इंडिया सिविल सर्विसेज के लिए इतने मन से तैयारी करते हैं, दिल से तैयारी करते हैं, प्रेपरेशंस करते हैं, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स करते हैं, एनर्जी लगाते हैं, टाइम लगाते हैं, लेकिन ये नहीं तैयार करते अपने आप के ये कि ये तैयारी किस मकसद के लिए कर रहे हैं। हायर पर्पस है कि नौकरी सिर्फ जॉब लेना है, मुझे जॉब चाहिए, क्यों नहीं चाहिए, हर एक को चाहिए, मुझे भी चाहिए था। लेकिन मेरा जब मैंने जॉब लिया था मेरा मकसद था, आई हैड अ पर्पस, और ये पर्पस इंटरव्यू के लिए नहीं था कि मुझे उसके नंबर फुल मिलेंगे। उस पर्पस को मैंने एज अ स्टूडेंट लाइफ जिया। आई लिव्ड माई पर्पस एज अ स्टूडेंट, जिसकी वजह से इतना ऑथेंटिक रहा कि इंटरव्यू में मेरे बहुत, इनफैक्ट आई स्कोर्ड हाईएस्ट मार्क्स इन द इंटरव्यू ओनली बिकॉज देयर वाज एन ऑथेंटिसिटी इन माई ग्रोथ ऑफ पर्पस। आई डिडंट से दैट, मैंने बनावटी नहीं किया। और जब मैं कॉलेज में थी, तुम लोगों की तो तैयारी अभी से शुरू हो जाती है, मेरी तैयारी सिर्फ ये थी कि मैं पब्लिक लाइफ, पब्लिक इलेक्टोरल में नहीं जाऊंगी पॉलिटिक्स में, लेकिन पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में जाऊंगी, जिसमें पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में देश की सेवा है। मैं पब्लिक की सेवा करूंगी, डट के करूंगी, उनकी प्रॉब्लम्स को सॉल्व करूंगी। आई विल बी द सॉल्यूशन टू देयर प्रॉब्लम्स, आई वर्क फॉर माई कंट्री। दिस वॉज द अग्नि इनसाइड मी, द फायर विद इन मी, द फायर विद इन मी took me to the service. And why also the police? I didn't even know when IPS your first preference लिखी थी that I was going to create history. I did not know, मैंने history बनाने के लिए नहीं IPS का, मैंने तो research भी नहीं की थी कि मेरे से पहले कितनी women in the IPS है। ये तो मुझे बाद में चला जब मैंने मसूरी अकेडमी गई, मैम you are the first woman in the Indian police service. I said really? He said that. और तब पता, और वो भी तब पता चला जब मुझे बुलाया गया एमएचए में कि कैन यू चेंज योर माइंड, वी डोंट वांट वुमेन इन द आईपीएस बिकॉज इसमें बहुत वायलेंस को डील करना है, वी डोंट वांट वुमेन। आई वाज कॉल्ड बाय मिस्टर केसी पंत, हु वाज देन द यूनियन होम मिनिस्टर। सो मुझे बुलाया, आई सेड आई हैव रिटन दिस विद माय eyes and open. This is my first preference because I know when I wear a uniform, I can do instant justice. I can do instant welfare. I can do instant injustice also. But I can do instant, मेरे दिमाग में injustice का तो मतलब ही नहीं था uniform. So it meant, because prior to that I was an NCC cadet, I was a tennis player, all these things were, so it was a growth for fire in the belly to grow up to serve my country. तो जब मैं गवर्नर वहाँ देखा गया तो मैंने इतने सारे, जब सारे ऑफिसर, क्योंकि मैं देखती रही जब मैं सर्विस में थी, but when I saw them performing, and why was the state failing? The union territory was failed union in a way. It was like failing. It was in debt the way many states are in debt today. They're all over borrowing. Many states, without mentioning any names, they're borrowing, over borrowing. And you can't constantly read in the papers that the certain states are overdrafting, which is almost going to get into a debt trap. Who are the administrators? Who are the people who are clearing the files? All those people who were as ambitious as you are today to make it to the service. And education secretary का देखा तो schools, this book, in fact, अगर आप बुक खरीद नहीं सकते आप मुझे ईमेल भेजें kiranbedioffice@gmail.com, मैं आपको सॉफ्ट कॉपी बांट दूंगी. I want you to read this book. You can email me kiranbedioffice@gmail.com and I'll forward you the email. I'll forward this to your friends also. You can read it. You will read what we, when once we get into the service, हम सर्विस के साथ करते क्या है. मुझे पता है मेरे से पहले आपने तैयारी की है कि हम सर्विस में कैसे जा सकते हैं. मैं जानती हूँ क्योंकि आपके दोनों बड़े इलस्ट्रियस स्पीकर हैं. एक एक रिटायर्ड ऑफिसर who was in the service. There we got exceptions. Exceptions ही बचा रहे हैं इस देश को आज. रूटीन नहीं बचा रहा. रूटीन 2 steps बैक ले जाता है, एक्सेप्शन 1 step फॉरवर्ड ले जाता है. वी हैव दिस. बट आपने क्या बनना है? आपने 1 step फॉरवर्ड वाला बनना है कि 2 steps बैकवर्ड वाला? दैट इज माई चैलेंज एंड दैट इज वॉट इंस्पायर्स मी टू टॉक टू यू एंड टू प्रिपेयर यू. एंड आई कैन टेल यू, अगर आप अब से प्रेपरेशन शुरू करेंगे, अब से प्रेपरेशन, और अपने सब्जेक्ट भी ऐसे पढ़ेंगे और खुश होंगे पढ़ के, खुश होंगे पढ़ के. पहली बात, ऐसा सब्जेक्ट लो जिसमें आपका दिल है, जहाँ आप में मन है. ये नहीं नंबर है, दिल है. मुझे पता है बड़े स्कोरिंग पेपर्स भी होते हैं, लेकिन वो स्कोरिंग स्कोर पे ही रह जाते हैं, आपकी लाइफ, आपकी परफॉर्मेंस नहीं बनाते. बट आप तो पर्पस आपका है, आपका पर्पस मार्क्स तो है, बिकॉज अदरवाइज आप स्कोर नहीं करेंगे. लेकिन इंटरव्यू में वो स्कोर करेगा जिसकी ईमानदारी झलकेगी. दैट इज़ वेर यू स्कोर. आई रिमेंबर एक इंटरव्यू मेरा हुआ, जब मेरा इंटरव्यू हुआ तो उन्होंने, मैं शुरू से छोटी उम्र से, बहुत बड़ा गार्डन तो नहीं था, लेकिन पॉट्स में मैं सब्जी उगाती थी. जो मन करता था, जब टाइम मिलता था, कभी न कुछ करती थी. मैं ऐसे दिल से करती थी, मम्मी को दिखाने, मम्मा देखो मैंने ये टमाटर, मेरा एक प्लांट में टमाटर निकला, एक प्लांट में मेरी भिंडी निकली, एक प्लांट में ये निकला. मैं शौक से करती थी, फॉर द लव ऑफ नेचर एंड लव ऑफ प्लांट्स. इंटरव्यू में मैंने लिखा हुआ था गार्डनिंग. कितना गार्डन? कुछ भी नहीं गार्डन. आई ओनली pots of these, only flower pots. And one of the interviewer asked me, you've written gardening here. What were you gardening? I said, sir, I was growing vegetables in the flower pots. Achha, really? So tell us, does a lady finger grow right up or right down? I said, sir, right up. He said, right. You see, I was caught. Had I just shown off कि मैं गार्डनिंग करती हूँ, बड़ा गार्डनिंग, मैं फ्लावर पॉट्स में करती हूँ, थोड़ा सा काम करती हूँ, लेकिन मैं भिंडी भी ग्रो करती हूँ. मैंने भिंडी ग्रो देखी थी, ऐसे ग्रो करती है, ऐसे नहीं ग्रो करती. See, by interview actually I scored the highest because it was an authentic, honest living. So मैंने पांडिचेरी में ये देखा साथियों कि पर्पस के साथ नहीं आ रहे ऑफिसर्स. आपको तुरंत जॉब चाहिए, लेकिन पर्पस भी तो समझो. यू आर गोइंग टू बी लीडिंग इंडिया टू 2047. आर यू रेडी? आर यू गेटिंग प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट? एंड इफ यू आर गेटिंग प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट, ऑल ऑफ यू शुड हैव बीन डूइंग वन थिंग कॉमन, is internship with some community work. All of you should have been doing that. किसी ना किसी NGO के साथ, या किसी झोंपड़ी के साथ, या अपने स्कूल के गांव के साथ, या कहीं ना कहीं हेल्थ केयर में, कहीं ना कहीं अपना थोड़ा सा समय दो त्याग में, गिविंग में. You should have been all involved in giving. And that's not taught, that's not trained, that's not asked, and you're not rated in marks for giving. आपके तो कोई पेपर ही नहीं है कि गिविंग में नंबर लगाओ, है? जब तक आप ये नहीं करोगे, आप ऑफिसर में भी गिविंग नहीं आएगी. एज अ 13-year-old आई वाज अ रेड क्रॉस वर्कर. मैं उस वक्त 1961-65 में पाकिस्तान वॉर हुई थी. मैं अमृतसर की हूँ और पाकिस्तान वॉर हुई थी. थैंक यू सर. तो वॉर जब हुई, पता है 65 चाइनीज़ थी, मुझे इस वक्त याद नहीं है. आई थिंक पाकिस्तान वॉर वाज इट? चाइना तो पहले हुई थी. आई थिंक इट वाज पाकिस्तान वॉर में सेबर जेट्स भी आते थे. दैट वाज चाइना वॉर, अमृतसर में. एंड वी वर राइट ऑन द बॉर्डर. तो रेड क्रॉस, बहुत सारे सेबर जेट्स थे, ट्रेंचेस भी बनी थी, सायरन भी बजते थे. तब तो जेट भी नज़र आता था कि जेट ऊपर से निकला. अब तो कुछ नहीं नज़र आता ना. देन यू कुड सी अ सेबर जेट गोइंग एंड देयर वाज अ सायरन एंड वी यूज्ड टू गेट इनटू ट्रेंचेस. आई यूज्ड टू गो ऑन अ साइकिल फ्रॉम माय होम व्हिच वाज अबाउट 8 kilometers go and serve in the hospital, clean the hospital as a teenager, लाइन लगवानी, कहीं registration करानी और जाके उनको कहना मुझे काम दो. और माँ बाप ने कहा जाओ, ये नहीं कहा डर ये कहा जब सायरन आएगा ट्रेंच में चली जाना. और तब साइड में बहुत सारी ट्रेंचेस बनी थी. दैट वाज हिस्ट्री. आई एम टेलिंग यू हिस्ट्री. सो आई डिड नॉट सी दिस हैपनिंग पौंडीचेरी. और जब मुझे प्रधानमंत्री जी ने लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर का काम दिया, बुला के कहा कि किरण तुम पौंडीचेरी में काम करो, मुझे एक शब्द उन्होंने बोला कि वहाँ जाकर किरण पैसे का बहुत ध्यान रखना. पहली बात उनको विश्वास था कि एक बिल्ली को दूध पे नहीं बैठाया, एक व्यक्ति को बैठाया जो दूध संभाले और दूध मीन्स इट वॉज ट्रस्टेड पर्सन. एंड सेकेंडली उन्होंने ये कहा वहाँ पैसे का, विच ऑब्वियसली मेंट थिंग्स वर वेरी रॉन्ग देयर. बट देयर इज अ फाइनेंस सेक्रेटरी, देयर इज अ होम सेक्रेटरी, देयर इज अ सेक्रेटरी PWD, देयर सेक्रेटरी many secretaries who are all involved in this secretary social welfare, all of them are using money. Then why secretary agriculture, हर एक के पास budget है अपना अपना. What was the problem? Problem was that there was lack of integrity in the application of rules and regulations. Okay, I think I've prepared the ground for you. Now I'm going to show you the film. Okay, I think I've said what I felt like to actually challenge you people. Now I want you to listen to what I told the IS officers in the Academy Mussoorie. It will also, have you seen Mussoorie Academy? Yes. Oh good. So it actually gives you a glimpse of how you went to see the Academy? Yes. Achha, on your own? कहाँ देखा? YouTube पे देखा. Okay. हाँ YouTube पे देख सकते हैं. It's all right. Okay, I'll quickly show you. And then we'll stop it when you feel like, and then we'll come back to Q&A and talk to you about it. Well, लेकिन मैंने आपको ये बता दिया, एक्सेप्शंस थे जिसकी वजह से पौंडीचेरी ठीक चल रही थी, मेजॉरिटी उसको बिगाड़ रही थी, बिगड़ी हुई थी. यहाँ तक कि पुलिस डिपार्टमेंट भी पॉलिटिशियंस के साथ रला हुआ था लैंड ग्रैबिंग में. किसकी लैंड ग्रैबिंग? फ्रेंच सिटीजन्स की. फ्रेंच सिटीजन कौन थे? बिकॉज इट वॉज एन अर्लियर फ्रेंच टेरिटरी एज यू नो, एंड दे हैड मेनी लैंड्स. और वो छोड़ गए जब लिबरेट होके पौंडीचेरी इंडिया में मर्ज कर गई, तो अपनी ज़मीनें कहीं छोड़ के फ्रांस चले गए. सिटीजनशिप तो रही लेकिन वो फ्रांस चले गए और अपनी लैंड छोड़ गए. तो सारे सीनियर सिटीजन हैं. अब सबको पता है ये सीनियर सिटीजन आएंगे और चले जाएंगे, आएंगे चले जाएंगे, या अपनी ज़मीनों को कैसे डिफेंड करेंगे? दे वर लैंड ग्रैबिंग विद द हेल्प ऑफ पुलिस, एंड पुलिस वाज नॉट अलोन, अलॉन्ग विद द पॉलिटिशियंस. जिसकी पॉलिटिशियन की सिफारिश आती थी वही पुलिस वाला उसकी FIR दर्ज करके धमकी दे के डराएंगे. तो ये भी IPS थे, इन्होंने भी तो इम्तिहान दिया था. और इसी के साथ ऊपर होम सेक्रेटरी भी थे, उसके ऊपर एक चीफ सेक्रेटरी भी होते हैं जो सारे कट रहे और बड़ी प्रार्थनाएं करके इम्तिहान पास किए थे. सो नाउ लेट्स क्विकली सी कि उनका पर्पस क्या था. सो आई एम बैक टू द पर्पस ऑफ दिस सर्विस. आई वॉन्ट यू टू, बिफोर यू डिसाइड टू स्टार्ट प्रिपेयरिंग, क्लियर योर पर्पस ऑफ द सर्विस. और जिसका पर्पस मन में नहीं, पर्पस ये है मेरी डाउरी ज़्यादा आएगी, मेरी बहन सेटल हो जाएगी और मेरा औहदा बढ़ जाएगा और मेरा शोहरत होएगी और मुझे बहुत कुछ मिलेगा, तो ही तो देश का सत्यानाश हो रहा है. इसीलिए ये मैंने आपके लिए इकट्ठी की है अपनी लाइब्रेरी से, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन से. ये आपके लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि लेसन इज ऑलवेज कीप योर डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. You will not have a united India if you have not a good all India service which has the independence to speak its mind. That's what he said. और आपका पता क्या होना है? जैसे आपकी सर्विस आ रही है, आपसे सिक्योर सर्विस से you will become insecure. You'll be worried about your next appointment, you'll be worried about your next posting, and you'll be worried about your next boss. Most secure service becomes most insecure service. Am I right or wrong? Whereas you are the most secure service. Nothing can happen to you if you do what is right, if you're not caught red-handed. Nothing will happen to you if you're caught red-handed. But even if you're caught red-handed, you'll be hiring a lawyer and trying to get out of it. The best lawyer can defend you and get the benefit of doubt. And you'll stay, hang on, and then come back to the center. So, therefore, that's what Sardar Patel, that was the purpose of the service. Where a service which is a steel frame, which unites the country, unites, not divides the country, unites the country, it's a unitary element. That's why the unitary and federal elements. This is a unitary element of the Indian Police Service. IS, IPS and All India are the unitary element of Indian unitary, and India's part unitary, part federal. This is the unitary element. And he said, who have the courage to speak their mind. How many speak their mind? Now let's see next. मैं साउंड को कवर अप कर रही हूँ आपके लिए क्योंकि आपने सुना नहीं था उसको. Let's see.
What's your purpose? What's the purpose of this victory? What's the purpose of this trophy which you won? What is the purpose of this examination which you passed? And what's the higher purpose of now going to this great training academy? What's the purpose? Anybody, raise your hand. Then I'm going to give you a secret. Huh? Make our nation great. Okay. Public service, nation great. Nation great, public service. Being a better human being. Driving for excellence. Self-actualization. Question is, these are your goals, right? Right? These are your goals. That's what you come for. How will you do it? Is there one route to it? And come with what will work for you. You said, what did you say? Here, doing the job in a better manner. Can I give you one mantra? And if you would believe me, then follow this. Something which is not being followed. And this is the reason by which our governance is suffering hugely. One of the major reasons for our governance, despite all the rights, despite all the resources we have, despite the budgeting we have, despite the laws and rules and regulations we have, despite the wonderful leadership we have in many places. Do you know why it's not delivering? If you want transformation, and if you want all this what I asked you, and you want to right, all this is inherent in the field. The biggest gain of our bureaucracy in civil services is we are not visible and we are not field oriented. We are paper oriented, we are reports oriented, we are inquiries oriented, we are not correction oriented, we are not prevention oriented, we are detection oriented, we are punishment oriented, we are punitive, not preventive. And therefore we want to push the paper. So friends, if you want to change, then one thing you want to commit before you leave this door today is that you will begin your day to the field. Now field doesn't only mean out on the road or on the street, but field also means the assistant commissioners, the regulators, the working party, the journalists. Go to the streets, assess things for yourself, walk for half an hour. You have a morning walk, you have a walk. Imagine if our deputy commissioners of cities were walking the streets. Imagine. Imagine if our superintendents of police or the ASPs are walking the streets every day. Imagine. Imagine all these officers walking their own areas. Things would be cleaner. Streets would be cleaner. Imagine the village rural development people going to the villages and sitting with the women in the Baisa bundles and having a panchayat. Imagine. It's happening, but in isolation. What this country needs is everywhere. Don't begin. What happens at the moment is 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. you sit in the field, you sit in the office, then you read India Today. Or you read a newspaper. Or you read the Time magazine, which is stuff. Baki Bhante, and a copy. 50. This is happening. And if this happens again with you, then all this investment will not reap the dividends for your country. It's a very expensive trade. These congregations are on taxpayers' cost. It's taxpayers' cost. And this is a message. Take games to people. Take games and be with the people one day. And you will there one day.
How will you learn to be with the people? When will you learn? At the moment, it's all yourself, you and your friends. So this is If you begin by being with the people, means, do you know, if you were to apply for scholarships overseas, your certificate is not your marks anymore. What is it? Do you know what they're asking for? Tell me, friends. Barki universities, or what are they asking for other than your marks? Extracurricular activities. And you don't have time for extracurricular activities. Because we time manage in such a way that we think that that's a waste of time. Your previous speaker asked you, go debates and declamations, isn't it? That's extracurricular. Do NCC, NSS, that's extracurricular. Do sports, it's extracurricular. Do music, do extracurricular. That is what will make you better human being. And that is what will get you grades in interview. You will study, you're all studying very well, know how. Preparation, your unacademies of the kind will prepare you. You'll invest a lot of money into preparation. But what will finally get you through the purpose, number one, the purpose. Secondly is your orientation to be more active, proactive. And for that, suddenly nahi hota hai. And that is what was missing in Pondicherry. Nobody would move out in the field. मैंने बोला, अरे उठो स्टूडेंट सेक्रेटरी एजुकेशन, उठो जाओ स्कूल जाओ ना, रोज देखो. मैंने चीफ सेक्रेटरी को बोला, ये बुक में चैप्टर है. उस टाइम के चीफ सेक्रेटरी को मैंने बोला कि सो एंड सो प्लीज चलो मेरे साथ, आओ देखें स्कूलों को, चलो मेरे साथ आओ डिस्पेंसरी को देखें, चलो मेरे साथ पुलिस स्टेशन को देखें, क्या हो रहा है, कैसे काम हो रहा है, आओ देखते हैं. ये थोड़ी इंस्पेक्शन ही कर रहे हैं. मिलेंगे, उनसे बात करेंगे, समझेंगे उनको क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत है, व्हाट आर द डेफिशिएंसीज. एंड डू यू नो व्हाट दैट considered chief secretary said? Ma'am, IAS officers are expected to be invisible. मैं तो invisible आदमी हूँ sir, ma'am. And he declined to come. He declined. I sent him an email saying, I'm waiting for you, come. He did not come. I went. And 5 years I went. I've been to police stations. I went to the length and breadth of the Union Territory. So, ye habit, why I've paused here, is this habit will come to you, but that will develop you as a person, as a sensitive human being. And this will also link you with, see, you are all knowing the strengths and weaknesses of the development of this country right now. You all know you're coming from the society, you're coming from the community, you're coming from the villages, you're coming from your neighborhoods. आपको सब तकलीफ मालूम है क्या गड़बड़ है. लेकिन ये तकलीफ दूर कैसे करोगे आप? That's the challenge. वो तब करोगे जब आपको आदत ही है रोज निकलने की, आपको आदत ही है फील्ड में जाने की, आपको आदत ही है फ्रेश एयर की. ये मेरी आदत है फ्रेश एयर की. It's a fresh air. I'm going to leave this presentation for you. Okay, the whole thing, it has very interesting things for you because the sound is not to my satisfaction. I'm not going to waste my time on this. I'm going to continue chatting with you. So, मैं पौंडीचेरी की कहानी बता रही थी. तो एक विकेट डाउन, जब चीफ सेक्रेटरी ही नहीं फिजिकल फील्ड में करेगा तो बाकी सेक्रेटरीज को देखते. देन ही स्टार्टेड टू टेल अदर सेक्रेटरीज कि आपको फील्ड में जाने की क्या जरूरत है, मत जाओ. He decided to defy the Lieutenant Governor. This is the arrogance which sometimes comes into the service. Arrogance. And some fell in place, some आने लगे, some नहीं आए. नहीं आए तो ना आए. आप पूछोगे मैंने क्या किया? मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं, जो भी आए नहीं आया मैं तो जा रही हूँ. कोई डेप्यूटी डायरेक्टर आ रहा है या कोई जूनियर इंजीनियर आ रहा है या कोई डायरेक्टर आ रहा है, सेक्रेटरी नहीं आया, नहीं आए, मैंने तो काम करना है. क्योंकि वो चाहते थे कि किसी तरीके से ये काम ना हो. पॉलिटिशियन भी उनको कहने लगे मत जाओ फील्ड में, फर्स्ट ईयर में हो, कोई सेकंड ईयर में है, कोई थर्ड ईयर में है. फुली यूटिलाइज वॉट एवर इज अवेलेबल इन द यूनिवर्सिटी, इन द कॉलेज. And there's so much happening in here that you will become more all-rounders. The government, India needs all-rounders. Even engineering goes back to learn humanities. And humanities also learns to manage, become health secretaries and secretary ITs, but they have to go and learn. Lekin when you come to the final pick, you will be picked on your expertise. सो पौंडीचेरी की कहानी 5 साल ऐसी रही. बहुत सारे लोग, फिर हमने व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बनाया. व्हाट्सएप जैसे ग्रुप बनाया सारे सेक्रेटरीज का, टू स्टार्ट टॉकिंग. दे डिडंट इवन नो ईच अदर. एक दूसरे का नाम भी नहीं जानते थे. एक दूसरे का नाम भी नहीं जानते थे. कोई व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप नहीं था. टेक्नोलॉजी आपके पास है, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप ही नहीं बनाया ताकि कोई जाने ही नहीं एक दूसरे को. वाई? क्योंकि हम लोग कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं जानते. हम कंपटीशन में लगे हुए. हम कोऑर्डिनेशन में नहीं है. हमको टीम गेम्स खेलनी है. जब तक हम टीम गेम्स नहीं खेलेंगे, आपस में टीम स्पिरिट नहीं बनाएंगे, गवर्नमेंट में भी आप टीम स्पिरिट ही नहीं रखोगे, कंपटीशन में रहोगे. उसकी प्रमोशन हो रही है, मेरी नहीं हो रही, उसको इंक्रीमेंट मिल गया, मुझे नहीं मिला, ये नहीं देख रहे देश का क्या हो रहा है. वाई? सेकेंड थिंग यू हैव टू लर्न अलॉन्ग साइड is collaboration. Where you work, play football, play team games, which is simple. Football is the cheapest, one ball. You can make a football team in village or anywhere, one football, and play girls and boys together. उधर gender sensitivity के training courses करते हो बाद में. Why not do inclusive now? Play girls and boys together. Not just be spectators. Play. अरे मुझे नहीं आता, अरे कोई बात नहीं, फील्ड में तो आओ. And that's exactly what would benefited me. Had I not been a sports girl, I would have never made it like this. So all field work, second sports, third NCC. आपका पास NSS है, तब NSS नहीं था. Finding the time. Every student should be an NSS or an NCC student. Everybody. How many of you are NSS? You can count the number. I can count almost 10, 12. All of you should be part of NSS. All of you could be wearing a uniform and doing NCC. और मैं आपको बता दूं, time management stretches accordingly. You become so time oriented when you have activities planned. जैसे सब्जेक्ट का है, अगर आपने रखा कि मैंने ये चैप्टर 1.5 घंटे में फिनिश करना है और घड़ी लगाओ अलार्म के मुझे फिनिश करना है, आप कोई भी डिस्ट्रैक्शन नहीं अलाउ करेगी. यू विल फिनिश इट इन. आज मैंने करना है तो आज सारा दिन उसी चैप्टर पे लगे रहो. टुडे आई विल फिनिश. देयर इज नो टाइम बाउंड. बट इफ यू से आई विल फिनिश इन 2 hours, you will finish in 2 hours and you have rest of the day. But if you say I finish it today, you may not even finish it till today because you'll keep postponing it. So these are some very, very important. It's collaborative habit. क्योंकि जब तक गवर्नमेंट में कोलैबोरेटिव हैबिट नहीं आएगी, इंडिया, यू नो दिस गति स्कीम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की. वाई? अब क्या हुआ? गति क्यों बनाई? प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने क्यों बनाई गति? सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स को इकट्ठा किया. क्यों? क्योंकि सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स इंडिपेंडेंट स्वैन जैसे काम करते हैं. नोट कमिंग टुगेदर. नोबडी ब्रिंग्स देम टुगेदर और दे नॉट ब्रॉट टुगेदर प्रॉपरली. दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव सीन lacking in governance today. And what is governance? Is you. When you take the exam and you qualify, you become government. Each one of you becomes a government servant. And अगर आप सिर्फ पढ़ाई की लेके गए हैं दिमाग, नंबर, तो उसमें भी फिर बाद में भी नंबर. मेरा नंबर कब आएगा घर का? मेरा नंबर कब आएगा कैपिटल अपॉइंटमेंट का? मेरा नंबर कब आएगा इंक्रीमेंट का? मेरा नंबर कब आएगा जो मुझे मेडल मिलेगा? मेरा नंबर कब आएगा? इससे नहीं देश. इफ यू वांट टू बी हैविंग अ प्रॉस्परस इंडिया बाय 2047, फ्रेंड्स, देयर इज नो अदर मैजिक. यू आर द मैजिक. इसमें मैंने पीछे स्वामी जी का, स्वामी विवेकानंद जी का भी इसमें कोटेशन है.
Yes, ma'am.
By when?
Do
you have their emails?
Yes, ma'am, I have their emails.
Everybody's?
Yeah, ma'am.
You have everybody's email?
They have registered for the event.
Oh, perfect. Then you got them there. Then they get the reward for it. So, presentation you already have. Soft copy, I will forward this to you right away because I have it in my WhatsApp, in my group, and I'll forward to you as I drive out. You'll get it. So by evening, you should get it, right? By evening, you shall get it, right? Lovely. And you will acknowledge, some of you can acknowledge it, saying, I got it. So then the story, let me give you the balanced story of Pondicherry. तो चीफ सेक्रेटरी कोऑपरेट नहीं कर रहा, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप मैंने बनाया, चीफ सेक्रेटरी को बड़ा मुश्किल आया कि तो मैडम ने सारे डिपार्टमेंट्स को मिला दिया है, मैं तो चीफ सेक्रेटरी था, ये कौन है, सेक्रेटरी जुड़ गए, और डिप्टी सेक्रेटरी को भी मैडम ने लगा दिया, उसमें अंडर सेक्रेटरी भी आ गया, डायरेक्टर भी आ गया, ये कौन है, हम तो सेक्रेटरीज ही हैं। उसने क्या किया, चीफ मिनिस्टर के पास गया और उसने शिकायत की, और चीफ मिनिस्टर को भी खुशी नहीं थी कि सारे डिपार्टमेंट मिल के काम करें। नोबडी वांट्स गति शक्ति, दे वांट गलती शक्ति, दे वांट गति शक्ति। सो गलती में जाओ, सो गलती करते रहो ताकि वो हिसाब किताब लेता है, तुमने ये क्यों किया, तुमने ये क्यों नहीं किया, ये नहीं, शाबाश तुमने ये भी किया, थैंक यू, यू डिड इट, ये अप्रोच नहीं है। सो व्हाट ही डिड, he got an order issued. I'm the Lieutenant Governor. I'm the Executive Administrator. He got an order issued from Chief Minister. WhatsApp group dissolved. And all those secretaries जो नहीं चाहते थे गति शक्ति बनना, सारे जिन्हें left the group, left, it was a broadcast group, left. When I saw left, मैं हिसाब लेती हूँ तुम्हारा कौन सा left. So जो left हुए, I kept a record कौन left हुए, और कई नहीं लेफ्ट हुए, कई लगे रहे, हम भी लगे रहे। मैं क्या करती थी, वो जो लेफ्ट हुए ना, उनको मैं इंडिपेंडेंट व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप भेजती थी, पता चल जाए तुमको क्या हो रहा है। सो तीसरी चीज, कोलैबोरेशन, नाउ कम्स कम्युनिकेशन। हाउ डू यू कीप कम्युनिकेटिंग? कम्युनिकेशन शुड बी अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ गवर्नेंस, जो आप कम्युनिकेट करें। That's why he said, go back to declamations and debates, write a blog. I think these are very good habits which he's instructed you. Follow them. Prepare. But this is not preparation for winning the examination. It's winning your life, winning the service, and being an admired officer. क्योंकि आप communicate करोगे, आप collaborate भी करोगे, आप field orientation में भी जाओगे। तो many चीज़ें मैं, फिर तो WhatsApp group वापस आया, everything started, but then I wrote to the Honorable Prime Minister. I said, sir, please decide, do you want him or me? I've come here to serve Pondicherry to make it prosperous. But if there are obstacles coming in the way, I can't choose a new chief minister because he's an elected representative. I can't change. But bureaucrats can be changed if he's not delivering. So, sir, I wrote to him a letter. My Honorable Prime Minister accepted my request, and that chief secretary was changed. A new chief secretary came, who is currently working with the Delhi government. His name is Ashwini Kumar. He is at the moment Home Secretary, and he's also the special officer, special assistant, special number 2 in the municipal corporation. So he came, he replaced him, a man of integrity. See how one replaces the other? Has वही इम्तिहान, लेकिन दो अलग-अलग लोग। वो है टीचर का बच्चा, एक ओरिएंटेशन भी है, नम्रता भी है, किसी से कुछ लेना नहीं देना नहीं, सिर्फ ईमानदारी से काम करना, किसी से डर के काम नहीं करना, जो फाइल पे लिखना है वो लिखना। ही रोट, हमारी फिर गति पकड़ ली, हम गति में चल गए और हम लोगों ने काम शुरू कर दिए डट के। सो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज, ये कौन है? ये वो लोग जिन्होंने अपनी लाइफ को बनाया एज अ स्टूडेंट। दैट्स ऑल आई एम ट्राइंग टू टेल यू। विश यू ऑल वेल फॉर योर एग्जाम्स। तैयारी ठीक से करो, सब्जेक्ट्स वो चुनो जो आपको प्यारे हैं, और जब उसकी रिसर्च करके तैयारी करोगे, प्रैक्टिस करोगे, रिहर्स करोगे, नॉलेज लोगे, जैसे जैसे आपको गाइड किया है वो करोगे आप ज़रूर, लेकिन पर्पस दिल से आना चाहिए कि मैं यहाँ क्यों जा रहा हूँ। लेकिन मैं आपको बता दूँ, डोंट पुट ऑल योर एग्स इन वन बास्केट। प्रिपेयर फॉर द सर्विस बट ऑल्सो प्रिपेयर फॉर अ प्रोफेशनल डिग्री। मैं बहुत सारी ये राय स्टूडेंट्स को देती हूँ, क्योंकि in the end it's just 1,000+ people who make it in all services, and millions take this exam. So therefore nothing should disappoint you. मैंने इम्तिहान दिया, 1 बार ही लिया, 2 बार ही लिया, 3 बार ही लिया, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ एक प्रोफेशनल डिग्री की भी तारीख रखो, which you like as a standby. In my service I have an IPS का standby. IPS में होने के बावजूद भी I have 2 standbys, not 1. I can go to teaching and I can go to law practice. I did it because I also felt कि अगर IPS मेरा वो पर्पस नहीं हल करता तो मैं इधर मार्क टाइम नहीं करूँगी, अपना ज़िंदगी को टाइम का बर्बाद नहीं करूँगी. For me, my time is more valuable. So, I would inspire you, take the exam, but I should also ask you, what's your second standby? Equally, your parents, your friends should know my second standby. I am giving all my best to the service and give my best to the service. Prepare the best, give the best. And I want to see India somewhere higher up in 2047. मैं तो लेके जाऊंगी इस देश को वहाँ तक जो मेरा सपना है. ये लेके जाना है. अपने दीवार के नक्शा बनाओ इंडिया का, उसमें अपने आप को फिट करो और देखो ये मैं हूँ, ये मैं करूँगी अपने देश के लिए. मेरा देश कैसा होगा? When you start heart beat, now you might say, मैम ये प्रॉब्लम आएगी तो बाद में पॉलिटिशियन क्या करेगा, फलाना करेगा. उसको मैं बताती हूँ उसको कैसे करना है. वो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. जब तक आप सिक्योर हैं, तैयार हो जाने के लिए अपना बुरिया बसरा बन के, नो प्रॉब्लम. प्रॉब्लम तब आती है जब आप चिपक जाते हो कुर्सी से. तो मुझे तो यही कुर्सी चाहिए, मुझे तो यही शहर चाहिए, मुझे तो यही घर चाहिए. आपको घर भी मिलेगा, गाड़ी भी मिलेगी, कुर्सी भी मिलेगी, दफ्तर भी मिलेगा, जूनियर्स भी मिलेंगे, काम भी मिलेगा, पब्लिक भी मिलेगी. लेकिन उस कुर्सी से शर्त यह है कि एक कुर्सी चिपकना ही छोड़ने को तैयार हो. और बोरी इतना बड़ा बड़ा फर्नीचर है बनाने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. कभी भी ज़रूरत पड़े सामान उठाया, गाड़ी पे लगाया, चले गए. कीप योर सेल्फ लाइट और सेविंग प्रॉपरली करो. दिस इज जब आप क्वालिफाई कर जाओगे तब मैं फिर से आऊँगी आपके पास आपको समझाने के लिए कि आगे क्या करना है. आई लाइक टू कम. जितने में से आप सेलेक्ट करोगे, विल यू इन्वाइट मी अगेन? Those of you who qualify, I like to then take another session with you. So how do you qualify to the make India qualify? You make India qualify. तब तक अपने आप को प्रिपेयर करो in person and professional. Professionally आप कर रहे हो, I want you to prepare in person because in person ही आपने जीना है. Professional आएगा, person ही घर जाएगा, पर्सन ही मदर बनेगी, पर्सन ही फ्रेंड बनेगी, पर्सन ही डॉटर बनेगी, पर्सन ही सन बनेगा. कैसे हो? और पर्सन ही फ्रेंड बनेंगे, पर्सन ही कलीग बनेंगे, पर्सन ही लोगों के लिए डिवोशन और रिस्पेक्ट लेंगे. तो आप लोग अपने ऐसा सरकारी काम से कहीं भी, सो आई वुड से स्टैंड बाय रखना है. सो यू शुड गो. इसमें कोई शर्म की बात नहीं है. आई हैव ट्राइड, आई डिडंट सक्सीड, बट आई हैव अ स्टैंड बाय. एंड व्हाट इज दैट स्टैंड बाय? कुड बी एनीथिंग. कुड बी IT, could be teaching, could be practice of law, could be anything. Once you have that standby, could be your own enterprise, could be your own startup, anything, and within friends as a team. So plan as a standby. This way it will give you a sense of security, but that does not distract you from preparing for your exam wholeheartedly. That would be my message, and that's my blessing for you. Now your turn. Okay, your questions, if you have any.
Very good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, it's my childhood dream to meet you. Still remember I have seen you in my textbook. So, ma'am, it's like a
आप
dream
भी
come
टेक्स्ट बुक में जाएंगे एक दिन.
Ma'am, it's like
आप जब अच्छे काम करोगे, आप टेक्स्ट बुक्स में जाओगे.
So, ma'am, my question is, how should I develop self-belief in myself? You have told me field, collaboration. So, first I need a self-belief. Then I can imply these things in my life and in whichever field I will be working in the future. So, ma'am, how could I indulge self-belief in myself?
List out all your doubts. Take a piece of paper. आप किस किस चीज़ में डाउट करते हो?
Integrity. Integrity, ma'am.
Integrity में अपने पर शक करते हो कि ईमानदार होगे?
हाँ मैम, कई बार.
Oh my God. ये तो बहुत अच्छा किया. बड़े बहादुर हो जो ऐसे बोल रहे हो. तो लालच को कैसे कंट्रोल करना है, ये तो आपने हैबिट डालनी पड़ेगी. जाओ जान के लालच में और देखो. जलेबियाँ बहुत अच्छी लगती मगर मुझे अच्छी नहीं खानी नहीं है, ये मेरी अच्छी नहीं है. मैं जलेबी देखूंगा लेकिन नहीं खाऊंगा. नहीं खाऊंगा. मेरा मन कर रहा है झूठ बोलने का, मगर मैं नहीं बोलूँगा। मेरा मन कर रहा है इसको गुस्सा होने का, मैं नहीं करूँगा। इट्स अ सेल्फ ट्रेनिंग, ये कोई बाहर से इंजेक्शन नहीं है, ये तो सेल्फ बिलीफ है, ये सेल्फ है, सेल्फ ने बिलीफ बनाना है, ये सेल्फ है, नॉट आउटर बिलीफ, इट्स नॉट फ्रेंड बिलीफ, इट्स द वर्ड इज सेल्फ। दैट मीन्स सेल्फ को आपको रोज तैयार करना है। दैट मीन्स सब बच्चों, स्टूडेंट्स, आपको मैं बताना चाहती हूँ, अपना अपना स्वॉट एनालिसिस करो, pick up and write your strengths, write your weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Just do a SWOT analysis. And every month do your own SWOT analysis of these beliefs and doubts. Strength में आ जाएगा, मैं बहुत अच्छा दोस्त हूँ, मैं किसी के लिए कुछ भी करने को तैयार हूँ, लेकिन ना मैं थोड़ा मुझे शक है कि मैं ईमानदार हूँ कि नहीं. That will be your weakness. That means you have seen what your weakness is. Nobody knows it, but then question is, how do you develop? और इसके लिए तो गूगल करो, हाउ डू आई डू सेल्फ बिलीफ, तो 6 स्ट्रैटेजीज देगा. गूगल इज योर ग्रेट टीचर. when you are in doubt, go Google Guru, I want to have more honesty in my mind, what do I do? इतना सारा honesty देगा. Start practicing those. Itself is a guide, it's a counselor, it's a mentor. So do your own SWOT analysis. Once you do your SWOT analysis, you will be your self teacher. And you will do, फिर आपका SWOT बदलता जाएगा. 6 months में अपने आप को ग्रेडिंग करो. मेरी स्ट्रेंथ में परसेंटेज में 10 में से कितने नंबर दूंगा, इसमें इसको कितने दूंगा, वीकनेसेस में मैं डिड आई चेंज 3 months आफ्टर, देन गो बैक टू योर सेल्फ बिलीफ्स एंड यू विल सी द चेंज.
Am I audible now? So my question to you, ma'am, is that you have served as a bureaucrat in this country, and you also, switched to a politician. So my question is that how difficult is the transition from a bureaucrat to a politician, and what challenges did you face?
Very simple. I never switched. I never switched. I only fought an election on a very personal request. It was a direct request from people who had convincing reasons to give me. And I told them, if it happens, I will serve, but not politic. I'll administer. And that person said, yes, you administer, we will politic. Right? So my condition of that one-time election was for a reason which was given. And that was touching my inner chord. That you are a Delhiite, it's your duty to serve Delhi now. जब ये कह दे, this is your mother, you have to serve your motherland, तो भागोगे कैसे? तो उन्होंने कहा, तुमने दिल्ली ने तुमको इतना कुछ दिया ना, अब समय है तुम दिल्ली को दो. मैंने कहा कुछ भी ले लो, लेकिन मैं दिल्ली को दूंगी प्रशासन, पॉलिटिकिंग नहीं मुझे आती. मैंने साफ कह दिया, मैं ना पॉलिटिकिंग करूंगी, ना मैं पैसा इकट्ठा करूंगी, और ना मैं पैसा दूंगी इलेक्शन के लिए. एक पैसा नहीं खर्चा किया मैंने अपनी इलेक्शन पर, एक पैसा इकट्ठा नहीं किया, किसी लिया नहीं. एक तक की जितनी भी शॉलें आई मुझे पॉलिटिकिंग करते, उसी वक्त बांट दी गई लोगों में, क्योंकि मैं कुछ नहीं ले जाना चाहती थी घर वो चीज़ों का. सो इट वॉज वन टाइम. कुदरत ने मुझे आज़ाद फिर से करना था, उसने हरा दिया, क्योंकि उसने कह दिया कि ये तेरे लिए नहीं है, तू जा वापस प्रशासन में. एंड LG थिंग हैपेंड आफ्टर दैट. सो पॉइंट इज, आई नो माई सेल्फ. So knowing myself, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and my strength is administration. My strength is not electoral politics. That's why I never went back to it. It doesn't attract me because it doesn't call me. अंदर की calling होती है ना, administration calls me, service calls me, community giving but not transactional work. ये transaction है. Electoral politics is transaction. मैंने आपके लिए ये दिया ना, तो तुम मुझे वोट दोगे. That's transaction. मेरा है, मैंने आपके लिए किया, ये तो मेरा कर्तव्य था, भूल जाओ. मैंने अपनी ड्यूटी की, तुमने मुझे मौका दिया, तुम्हें थैंक यू, तुमने मुझे मौका दिया, मैं तुम्हें सर्व कर सकी. There is no transaction in this, it's transformation. That is what you need to be, not transactional administrators, because you are not joining politics. यू आर गोइंग इनटू सर्विसेज. सर्विस इज ट्रांसफॉर्मेशनल. ये है ही दूसरे का सुधार के लिए. आपका सुधार तो हो गया, आपको तनख्वाह भी मिल रही है, सिक्योरिटी भी मिल रही है, घर भी मिल रहा है, सब कुछ मिल रहा है, आपका तो काम हो गया, और क्या चाहिए. अब इसको भी आप धंधा बना दोगे तो फिर तो आपको निकाल देना चाहिए बाहर. यू आर नॉट फॉर बिजनेस हियर, यू आर सर्विंग द कम्युनिटी. सो मेरे लिए सर्विस इज नॉट बिजनेस, माई सर्विस इज सर्विस. मैंने सर्विस की, मुझे मौका मिला सरकार का या पब्लिक ने, टैक्स पेयर ने, कि मैम आपको हम तनख्वाह देते हैं, सब कुछ देते हैं, अब आप सेवा करो, तो मैं सेवा करती हूँ. मुझे कुछ धन्यवाद करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, ना मुझे मेडल चाहिए. मैंने तो सर्विस ऑप्ट किया है, मैं तो सर्व ही करूँगी, मुझे इसके रिटर्न में कुछ नहीं चाहिए. दैट्स कॉल्ड सर्विस, दैट्स कॉल्ड एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. देयरफॉर आई एम नॉट इन पॉलिटिक्स. और पॉलिटिक्स इज नॉट रॉन्ग इफ यू विलिंग टू डू बिजनेस. इज गुड बिजनेस, इजंट इट? तो जिसको बिजनेस चाहिए बिजनेस में जाए ना, सर्विस को बिजनेस मत बनाए. लेकिन पॉलिटिक्स में बिजनेस भी है, सर्विस भी है. आप बिजनेस करते करते सर्विस भी कर सकते हो, लेकिन हर एक की कीमत जरूर होगी. मेरे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में कोई कीमत नहीं. इट इज प्राइसलेस, यू कैन नॉट पे मी. वेयर इज इन पॉलिटिक्स you can pay me and I can demand it. I may demand, I may not. There's a very big difference between the two, and both are respectable, both are useful, both are valuable. हर एक की नेचर सब कुछ नहीं होती. मेरी नेचर है ही नहीं है, इसलिए मेरे लिए कोई रिग्रेट नहीं, ना ही मुझे कोई लालच है, ना ही मैं उस तरफ गई हूँ. बट दैट वॉज अ कॉल, आई ऑनर्ड अ कॉल, कि दिल्ली ने तुम्हारे लिए इतना कुछ किया, तुम भी करो. तो मैंने अपने आप को कुर्बान किया. वो कुदरत की देन थी कि उसने कहा काफ़ी होगी इतनी, वापस जाओ जहाँ पर तुम्हारा है रास्ता. सो दे पुट मी बैक ऑन ट्रैक. या
नमो नमः महोदय, नमस्ते. सर्वप्रथम मुझे कहने का आप आज्ञा दीजिए कि जो ऊर्जा, जो उत्साह, जो उर्वरकता आपकी इस आयु में है, वो हम लोगों के समय लिए व्याप्त रहे. तो सबसे पहले तो मैं आपसे इस रहस्य के बारे में ही जानना चाहूँगा. इतने दिन तक सर्विस में रहने के बाद और इस अवस्था में आने के बाद भी आपने इस ऊर्जा को कैसे बनाए रखा है? महोदय, मेरा दूसरा प्रश्न आपसे ये है, हमारे संविधान निर्माताओं ने यह चिंतन किया था कि हम किन लोगों को सर्विस में लाएं. उन्होंने कहा कि हमें सर्विस में अनुभवी लोग चाहिए, इसलिए प्राइम मिनिस्टर के लिए ऐसे पोजीशंस के लिए कोई एग्जाम कंडक्ट नहीं होने चाहिए, क्योंकि अनुभव नहीं छटना चाहिए, अनुभव वहां जाना चाहिए. लेकिन आज क्या हो रहा है महोदय, अच्छे इंजीनियर्स बनने के लिए IITs, अच्छे IIM, अच्छे हमारे यहाँ इतने अच्छे कॉलेजेस, लेकिन अच्छे पॉलिटिशियन बनने के लिए कोई पैरामीटर नहीं है. कोई कह सकता है कि इलेक्शन इज द वे टू चूज अ पॉलिटिशियन. Election is a very best exam, but ma'am, I want to ask, there is a very family process. मेरे पिता की पॉलिटिक्स में पॉलिटिकल स्वतः आ गया, और वहाँ मनी पावर एंड मैन पावर है. मैं एग्जाम दे रहा हूँ, पेपर लेकर वहाँ सिर्फ मैं हूँ, वहाँ पे 10 लोग मेरे पीछे हुए हैं. मैं इतना परिश्रम करके अपने सर्विस में जाऊंगा अपने देश का कार्य करने के लिए, और कोई अनपढ़ गवार मेरे ऊपर बैठा और मुझे आज्ञा देगा, मैं मुझे स्वीकार नहीं है. मुझे आपकी इसमें विचार जानना है कि आप उसके बारे में क्या सोचती हैं. मैं उसके नीचे रहूंगा.
अभी भी आपका प्रश्न समझा नहीं.
मेरा प्रश्न नहीं है महोदय, मेरा प्रश्न यही है कि मैं जिसके अंदर काम करूंगा उसके चुनने के लिए देश में कोई परीक्षा नहीं है. वो कैसे भी वहां जा सकता है और उसके अंदर मुझे काम करना होगा. धन्यवाद.
कि एक व्यक्ति पीपल से इलेक्टेड होके आया, जो कि किसने कोई इम्तिहान नहीं दिया, कोई पास नहीं हुआ, कोई पढ़ाई नहीं की. शायद बड़े पढ़े लिखे लोग भी आ रहे हैं, ये नहीं कि बहुत लायक लोग भी आ रहे हैं. रिटायर्ड ब्यूरोक्रेट्स भी आ रहे हैं, रिटायर्ड साइंटिस्ट भी आ रहे हैं, ये नहीं है कि नहीं है. रिटायर्ड इंडियन फॉरेन सर्विस के भी फॉरेन मिनिस्टर हैं आज. सो ऐसे लोग भी आ रहे हैं. अब तो इस सरकार में ज़बरदस्त मिक्सचर है. आपका आज का IT रेलवेज, इट्स ऑल इन दी हैंड्स ऑफ सीनियर रिटायर्ड ब्यूरोक्रेट एंड वेरी केपेबल ब्यूरोक्रेट. और आज आपकी फॉरेन मिनिस्ट्री इज इन हैंड्स ऑफ वेरी केपेबल इंडियन फॉरेन सर्विस ऑफिसर. और क्या साफ साफ बात करता है, और सारी दुनिया उसको कैसे सुनती है. बट ऐसे लोग भी हैं जो कि ऐसी चीज़ से नहीं गुजरे हैं, लेकिन सिर्फ पब्लिक से चुन के आए हैं, और पब्लिक की सेवा करते करते आए हैं. पब्लिक ने उनको चुन लिया कि यही इसने मेरे दुख में काम किया था, इसलिए मैं इसको दूँ. और तीसरी कैटेगरी ऐसी भी है जो सिर्फ धन के नाम पे आई है. सो यू गॉट ऑल द 3 कैटेगरीज. ये इसी को डेमोक्रेसी कहते हैं। पहला प्रश्न सवाल है, ऊर्जा का रीज़न बड़ा सिंपल है, रोज़ सुबह उठ के सूर्य नमस्कार करो।
नमस्कार मैम। मैम मैं कभी आपको यूट्यूब पर देखा करता था और आज सामने देख रहा हूँ, बहुत ही खुशी हो रही है। मैम मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि आप देश की बात करती हैं मैम कि हमारा देश आगे बढ़े और देश के लिए आपने इतना कुछ किया। तो मैम हमें मतलब ये ज्ञात है कि हमारा देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, तरक्की कर रहा है, परंतु मैम कहीं ना कहीं अगर हम देखें मतलब ये बात छुपी नहीं है कि भारत में करप्शन कितना है। तो मैम मैं आपका विजन जानना चाहूँगा कि करप्शन को लेकर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे, हम किस प्रकार से करप्शन को देश में मतलब देश से हटा सकते हैं, किस प्रकार से हम करप्शन को खत्म कर सकते हैं? बहुत आसान है।
आप बैठे ना, आप ही उसका सोल्यूशन, आप सोल्यूशन है, आप सोल्यूशन है। उदाहरण से आप कैसे सोल्यूशन है? सारी फाइल्स बिहार में जब वो फॉर्डर स्कैम हुआ था, फाइलें किसने साइन की थी? फाइलें किसने साइन की थी? क्या फाइल साइन किए बिना अकाउंट्स क्लियर करेगा? तो और अकाउंटेंट भी साइन करता है। ये कौन लोग हैं? ये चुने हुए लोग आए हैं कि इम्तिहान से आए हैं? तो सोल्यूशन तो आप है। तो आप जब इम्तिहान लेते हो, मैं इसीलिए तो बोल रही थी, पर्पस को साफ करो। किसी का पर्पस है सेवा और किसी का पर्पस है मेवा। ये मेवे के लिए नहीं है। अगर आपका पर्पस सेवा रहेगा तो वो हटा देगा आपको व्यक्ति, वो मेवा ढूंढने वाला अफसर ढूंढेगा। लेकिन अगर उसको मेवा का अफसर मिलेगा ही नहीं तो मेवा मिलेगा कैसे उसको? उसको तो एक ही चाहिए, मेवा साइन करने वाला, लेकिन है वो आप में से। सो ये ठान के जाओ कि मैं 2047 में कैसा देश चाहता हूँ और मैं दबाव में नहीं आऊँगा। मैंने आपको समझा दिया दबाव में क्या असर है। आपको यहाँ से हटा के दूसरी जगह, आपको वो बे ऑफ बंगाल में नहीं फेंकेंगे, यहाँ तक कि काला पानी भी नहीं भेजेंगे, एंडोमेंस भेजेंगे। और एंडोमेंस तो बहुत ब्यूटीफुल पोस्टिंग है। आपने गए एंडोमेन? ऐसा ज़रूर जाओ। इट्स वन ऑफ द मोस्ट ब्यूटीफुल पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया। सो ऐसी जगह भी चले जाओ। अगर आप एंडोमेन भी जाने को तैयार हो तो बाकी सारा देश ही बहुत बढ़िया है। सो अगर आप ये ठान लें और ये मैसेज देने लग जाएं अपने पॉलिटिकल ब्यूरो ऑफिसर को कि साहब मैं तो वो ही करूँगा जो जस्टिस है, रूल को भी ऐसे इंटरप्रेट करूँगा जो जस्टिस है, जिसमें जस्टिस हो, किसी का नुकसान ना हो, भला हो। क्योंकि मैं लॉ को भी इंटरप्रेट ऐसे करूँगा जिसमें भला हो। ये नहीं काम रुके। लॉ दो तरीके हैं, एक है रुकावट कैसे है और एक है दरवाज़ा खोलना कैसे है। लॉ को आप ऐसे इंटरप्रेट कर सकते हो। मैं एक उदाहरण दूँ लॉ की। डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस जब मैं सर्विस में कर रही थी तो डोमेस्टिक घरेलू हिंसा अपराध नहीं था। डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस एक्ट हैड नॉट कम दैट टाइम। तो मैं डीसीपी वेस्ट बैठती थी, अदालत लगाती थी, क्योंकि डिप्टी कमिश्नर पुलिस में आपके पास एग्जीक्यूटिव मैजिस्ट्रियल पावर्स होती हैं ऐसे पीस प्रोसीडिंग्स के लिए। तो ये पावर, इसको कहते हैं मैजिस्ट्रियल पावर। तो जब मेरे पास औरत पिटती हुई आती थी नशा से, उसका बेटे ने मारा या पति ने मारा, तो कहती थी मैडम मैं आपके पास इसलिए आई हूँ क्योंकि आप मेरी बात ज़रूर सुनेंगे, आप महिला हैं, महिला का दर्द समझते हैं, और मेरे पति ने मुझे मारा, ये इसने नशा करता है, चोरी करता है, जेवर खींचता है, बर्तन बेच देता है। तो मैंने कहा बोला, फिर मैंने कहा पुलिस में गए? हाँ। मैंने कहा फिर क्या हुआ? बोला पुलिस ने कहा कोई कानून नहीं है, कोई कानून नहीं है, घरेलू हिंसा जुर्म नहीं है, तो इसलिए मैं क्या करूँ आपका? तो मैडम मैं इसलिए आपके पास आई। तो मैंने उसको बैठाया और बोला जुर्म है, जुर्म है, तेरी मदद हो सकती है, लेकिन एक कानून है जिसको ये थाने वाले ने अप्लाई नहीं किया, जिसमें ये नहीं लिखा है घरेलू हिंसा, जिसमें ये लिखा है शांति भंग। एक कानून है शांति भंग करने पर आप गिरफ्तारी कर सकते हो, और एक कानून है घरेलू हिंसा पे। तो क्या ये शांति भंग नहीं है? तो मैंने उसको इंटरप्रेट किया शांति भंग, क्योंकि ये महिला वाइफ और हस्बैंड में शांति भंग हो रही है, घर की सारी शांति खराब हो रही है। तो मैंने अपने ऑफिसर को बोला इसको सेक्शन 107 151 में गिरफ्तार कर इसके आदमी को। इट वॉज कॉल्ड एप्रीहेंशन ऑफ ब्रीच ऑफ पीस, एप्रीहेंशन ऑफ ब्रीच ऑफ पीस, शांति भंग होने के अंदेशा है। और उसके बाद क्या है, वो उसकी अदालत नहीं है, मैजिस्ट्रेट के 30,000 अदालत नहीं है, एसीपी का कोर्ट लगता है, ये भी पुलिस कमिश्नर में पावर है। तो मैंने अपने एक एसीपी त्यागी है, एसबीएस त्यागी, वो रिटायर हो गया अब उसको बोला ऐसे त्यागी इसको 1051 में गिरफ्तार करा के अपने आप कोर्ट लगाओ। तो उसको क्या करता है, हर तीसरे दिन उसके पहले तो जेल भेज दिया, 2 दिन उसने जेल की हवा खाई, उसको पता चल गया जेल क्या होता है, अगर मैं मारूं अपनी बीवी को तो क्या होता है। वहाँ उसको नशा मिलना भी बंद हो गया, कुछ दिन उसकी नशा उतर गया सारा। अब वो हर तीसरे दिन तरीक में आने लगा, तरीक में लगाना जमानती दे, तो जमानती कौन, उसका चाचा, उसका दादा, उसका भाई, जमानत दो कि घर में अगर मैं छोड़ूं इसको जेल से बाद हटाऊं तो तुम जिम्मेवारी लोगे कि दोबारा नहीं करेगा। कानून तो है, एक कह रहा है कानून नहीं है, एक कह रहा है कानून है, ऐसे करने। सी दैट हमारा हाथ में है, हम ऑफिसर्स का हाथ में है। कानून भले के लिए है, कानून न्याय के लिए है, कानून इज रीडिंग इनटू जस्ट। अगर आपने वाकई में इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करना है तो यू कैन रीड द लॉ एज इट इज। अदरवाइज अगर आपने रोकना है तो मैं भी उसको बोल सकती थी, हाँ माँ कुछ नहीं है, वाकई में नहीं है, जाओ फैसला कर लो आपस में, बुलाओ बड़ों को, बुलाओ फैसला कर लो, बड़ों को बुलाओ ना, और थोड़ा सहन कर लो, थोड़ा सहन कर लो, ऐसे भी कहते थे, एक घरेलू मामला है सहन कर लो। बट आई डिडंट से दैट, आई डिडंट से दैट, आई सेड नहीं सहन करोगे आप, कानून है। और उसको तरीक लगने के उसको फिट कर दिया हमने। एक नहीं किया, ऐसे हमने बहुत किए। उसके बाद कानून भी आ गया, घरेलू हिंसा का कानून भी आ गया, लेकिन ये लॉ तो है ही है। तो कहीं भी भाई भाई में शिकायत है, पड़ोसियों में शिकायत है, या 2 आदमी शिकायत है, देयर इज अ लॉ टू डू, प्रोवाइडेड यू वांट टू रीड द लॉ भला करने के लिए। मैं किस तरीके से ऐसा करूं, मेरे पास जो व्यक्ति आया है, मेरी चाह ये होनी चाहिए मैं इसका भला करके भेजूं, अगर ये सच्चा है, और अगर ये झूठा है तो इसको फिट करूं और दूसरे तरीके से। सो दिस इज द चैलेंज बिफोर ऑल ऑफ यू। जब आप ऐसे लाइफ में जाओगे, यही तो मजा है इस काम का, यही तो आनंद है इस सर्विस का। ओके, समझ गए? थैंक यू सो मच। कैन वी हैव द लास्ट क्वेश्चन नाउ?
मैं चूंकि फिलोसफी का विद्यार्थी हूँ, तो मुझे सदैव ये सिखाया जाता है कि आप अपने आत्मा आनंद और आत्म जागृति पे ध्यान केंद्रित करें। इस कथन से मैं यह जानना चाहूँगा मैम कि आपने राष्ट्र के लिए जो काम किया है उसका आनंद सर्वश्रेष्ठ है, या हमें आत्म अनुभूति सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन का ज्ञान सर्वश्रेष्ठ है? इस दोनों के बीच हम सामंजस्य स्थापित कैसे करें?
साधारण स्पोकन हिंदी में बोलो, संस्कृत हिंदी मुझे नहीं आती। आपकी हिंदी बहुत शुद्ध है, मैं आपकी शुद्ध हिंदी को प्रणाम करती हूँ। अब मुझे बताओ एक साधारण हिंदी की भाषा में।
मैम मैं कहना चाहता हूँ कि नेशनल वेलफेयर सुप्रीम है या सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन सुप्रीम है?
ओ, सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन के बिना नेशनल वेलफेयर हो ही नहीं सकता। नेशनल वेलफेयर, अगर आप नेशनल वेलफेयर बाहर की बात है, नेशनल वेलफेयर तो समाज का वेलफेयर है ना। जब आप नेशनल वेलफेयर मान रहे हो तो इसका मतलब आप समाज के सुधार के लिए बोल रहे हो। समाज है ना नेशनल, भारत देश के लिए। सो देश के सुधार के लिए वो जब तक अंदर आपका साफ नहीं है, प्योर नहीं है, ईमानदार नहीं है, लगन नहीं है, त्याग नहीं है, नैतिकता नहीं है, आप दूसरे का भला कैसे सोच सकते हो? सो यहाँ से शुरू होगा शुद्धता, यहाँ से शुरू होगी। फिर समाज देश का ही नहीं शुद्धि कर, सारी जगह हर आचरण में भला होगा, आपके हर वाणी में भला होगा, हर कर्म में भला होगा, और उसमें ही तो देश का भला है। जब 1.25 बिलियन लोग, अगर 1.25 जिसमें 400 मिलियन आप लोग हैं, 400 मिलियन तो आप युवा हैं, 400 मिलियन युवा अगर देश का भला सोचने लग जाएं और समझ जाएं कि होगा कैसे, एक नेशनल हेल्थ क्या होती है, नेशनल वेल्थ क्या होती है? नेशनल वेल्थ ये होती है सबका मिलाया हुआ आमदन, दैट्स कॉल्ड द नेशनल इनकम, राइट? पर कैपिटा इनकम इसको कहते हैं। आज की भी न्यूज़पेपर में है ना, पर कैपिटा इनकम हमारी बढ़ गई पिछले कुछ सालों में, वो है। एक नेशनल हेल्थ क्या होती है? कोविड क्या होता था? नेशनल हेल्थ कोविड में फैल गया था, नेशनल हेल्थ गिरी नहीं थी? स्वास्थ्य देश का गिरा नहीं था, दुनिया का ही गिरा था। इटली बीमार हो गई, अमेरिका बीमार हो गया, भारत में भी कोविड में भी हम बीमार हो गए, कई जगह बहुत बुरा हाल हुआ। कोविड ने सारी दुनिया को बीमार नहीं किया। दैट वाज कॉल्ड वर्ल्ड हेल्थ, दैट्स व्हाई वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्टेटमेंट देती रही कौन कितने हुए, तो वेल्थ वर्ल्ड हेल्थ गिरी, सिमिलरली देश की भी हेल्थ। सो ऐसे ही नेशनल वेलफेयर भी तब बढ़ता है जब उसका हर युवा स्वच्छ हो, हर युवा नैतिक हो, हर युवा कर्तव्य पालन करने वाला, हर युवा मेहनती हो, हर युवा स्किल्ड हो, काम काजी हो, काम हुनर उसके हाथ में हुनर है, वो कमाने वाला है, दानी है, भला करने वाला है, तो नेशनल वेलफेयर तो हो गई। नेशनल वेलफेयर और सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन अलग अलग नहीं है। सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन नेशनल हेल्थ वेलफेयर लाती है, ये उस तरफ ले जाती है, उसके बिना नहीं, हम ये सेपरेट नहीं कर सकते। आपने बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न पूछा है और बहुत नेक बढ़िया तुमने, जैसे कहते हैं ना, नेल, यू हिट द नेल ऑन द हेड, ये नेल है। अब जिस देश का युवा, जापान में इतने तरक्की क्यों की, हिरोशिमा के बाद में इतना भी क्यों? क्योंकि वहाँ का हर नागरिक कहता था मैंने देश को वापस प्रॉस्पेरिटी में लाना है, तो स्ट्राइक नहीं किया, स्ट्राइक भी किया तो बैज लगा के किया कि मैं काम नहीं रोकूंगा लेकिन अपनी बात ज़रूर कहूँगा। लेकिन इसीलिए जापान बिकेम अ वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी आफ्टर डिस्ट्रक्शन। तो जापान एक उदाहरण बन गया, एक कल्चर, एक कैरेक्टर, जिसको कहते हैं नेशनल कैरेक्टर। और अगर हमारा भी भारतीय नेशनल कैरेक्टर ये बन जाए, हर युवा समाज सेवा में, पहले सेवा फिर बाद में मुझे उसका क्या फल मिलेगा आप देखोगे। अब मुझे बता दीजिए, गांव-गांव के स्कूल हैं आपके, आप बीए पढ़ ले, आपने कभी अपने वहाँ स्कूल में जाके सेवा की कि मैं 4th स्टैंडर्ड को मैथमेटिक्स सिखा दूँ, मैं 5वीं क्लास को ये ज्योग्राफी सिखा दूँ, मैं सेवा के लिए आया हूँ 2 घंटे के लिए। अगर हम ये करने लग जाएं तो कितने बच्चों का साइंस क्लास नहीं है, कई बार आपको रिटायर्ड टीचर है, वो कहते मेरे पास समय, मैं सेवा करूँ। जब सेवा भाव आ जाए, वो देश का तो कोई फिर रोक ही नहीं सकता प्रगति में। लेकिन जब स्वार्थ आ जाए, सेवा भाव आ जाए तो तरक्की, स्वार्थ आ जाए तो सारे जने खाने लग जाएंगे, डालेंगे कोई नहीं। एक कहानी है ना, एक महाराजा ने बोला मैं एक बहुत बड़ा एक वो रख रहा हूँ तवा, बहुत सारा डोंगा रख रहा हूँ, उसको बोल रख रहा हूँ, सब जने एक एक गिलास पानी दूध डालो, सब जने एक एक गिलास दूध डालो। मैं सबको बोलूँ कल ना सब जने एक एक गिलास दूध लाना, हम एक साथ सब जने मिल के पिएंगे। कईयों ने सोचने लगा वो ले जाए मैं ना ले जाऊँ, मेरा तो पानी मिल जाएगा बीच में। वहाँ पर दूध था ही नहीं, सिर्फ पानी था, क्योंकि सब जने सोचने लग जाए पानी, मेरा भी पानी मिक्स हो जाएगा। जब हर युवा आप में से सोचने लग जाए, मुझे ये नहीं कि मुझे टीचर कहे, ये नहीं कि मुझे नंबर मिलेंगे, ये नहीं कि मुझे इसका बड़ा रिकग्निशन मिलेगा, ये नहीं मुझे पद्मश्री मिलेगा, ये तो मेरा देश है, ये मेरी माँ है, ये मेरी मातृभूमि है, मैं मातृभूमि की सेवा मैं अपने दिल से कर रहा हूँ। और इसलिए कोई मेरी माँ है, मैं अपनी माँ के लिए, कोई मुझे कहता है अपनी माँ के लिए करो, क्योंकि मेरा प्यार है, मेरा प्रेम है। जब आप अपने देश से, अपनी जॉब से, अपने कर्तव्य से ना, अब आपका जॉब है कर्तव्य, मेरे अंदर लगन थी अपने यूनिफॉर्म की तरफ प्रेम। जब आपके पास अपनी कर्तव्य की तरफ प्रेम हो जाता है तब कुछ नहीं रोक सकता आपको सेवा में। मैं अपने यूनिफॉर्म को बहुत प्रेम करती हूँ और उसकी इज्जत करती हूँ और उसकी पूजा करती हूँ कि उसकी वजह से तो मुझे ये जीवन मिला। तो जब आप ये करने लग जाओ, ग्रैटिट्यूड ले आओ, तो कोई भी इसका मुकाबला ही नहीं है। और ये आता है सेल्फ नॉलेज से। थैंक यू। आई थिंक वी शुड स्टॉप एट दिस। आई हैव गिवन यू लार्जर मैसेज, वी कुड स्टॉप एट दिस। थैंक यू सो मच, थैंक यू वेरी मच। आपने मुझे मौका दिया, मेरा पूरा आशीर्वाद है कि आप सब जने खूब कामयाब हो। धन्यवाद।
Well, that was magnificent. Just like I heard it from somewhere. Ignite the fire in me. Ignite the light in me. Inculcate purpose.
Would you like to clap?
Ace it with authenticity.
Oh my God.
Dr. Bedi has envisioned our minds and hearts with dreams and the honest meaning of purpose. I'm sure that every person in this auditorium has felt the same.
May you succeed, but keep a parallel line so that you keep reworking. And if you succeed, let me know.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Anyone can live a life, but if you have a purpose, you fill it and live every moment capturing with strength. This was indeed a fan moment for most of us to converse with you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the stupendous discourse.
How do you spell your name?
Akshat, A-K-S-H-A-T.
A-K? Huh?
We can go a long way
Akshat.
by appreciating and praising such an eminent and illuminating personality.
Best blessings.
But the ingrained respect stays perpetually the same. Now, I request President of NISHA, the Civil Service Society, Mr. Akshat Bhadoria, to felicitate the esteemed personality, Mr. Dr. Bedi.
Very nice. Thank you. So nice.
Memento, and this is a letter of appreciation.
Oh, thank you.
No, ma'am, no.
So, hello everyone for the one last time. So, yeah, I'm elated and I'm very happy and I'm joyful as I propose the vote of thanks for this momentous juncture. Before I proceed and I express my gratitude, I just want to say, like, when I had the first interaction with ma'am, first of all, I couldn't believe, just like you guys, that I finally had that opportunity. Then what I was surprised is, like, a person with this much stature, the person that the stature that she holds today, and she was more eager to interact with you all. She was sending me corrections. No, let's just do this way. All right, no, this would be better. So thank you so much, ma'am, for your cooperation. Thank you so much, ma'am, for inculcating the bona fide values of dedication, hard work and honesty within us from your session today. Thank you so much for this, ma'am. I would also like to thank our assistant principal and Dr. Convener, Professor Dr. Rama, and my neighbor Dr. Mahir Prajapati sir for their always keen association with the society. Again, I would like to express my sincere thanks to each one of you for gracing this juncture with your radiant and cheerful presence. Thank you so much. The event is not over yet. We have two more special announcements which would sum up the ACAMS 22. So for that, the speaker session is over now, but I would like to hand over the stage to Team Unacademy because they have something for each one of you. So thank you so much.
Once you get the soft copy of the book and you get the presentation, I will be happy to receive a feedback. And my email is kiranpedioffice@gmail.com.
Okay? What is my email? आप सारे पास.
Are you please? Yeah, please. No. Guys, please. Guys,
She has received a mock test series. Tuition is for 1 year. And the course for 2 years from undergraduate.
This, I would now like to announce the closure of this tremendous session. The flagship event ACAS 22 is now closed. Thank you so much. Well done.